Who would like to recall last session?
Everybody goes silent.
Yeah, it's been so long.
All right, I can do it.
I'm just trying to remember where we were.
Hell.
Well,
You made it to the Wandering Emporium.
Yep, I can give the recap.
Okay, go ahead.
I was muting Girk's mic and going to mine.
Fair enough.
So, one second. I don't want to get back on the Wi-Fi. So, come on, dude. Argue with me. I'm on the food team. Okay, so last session, in the middle of all of our travels, we were finally set to move on to the next leg. Everybody had gotten on the vehicle, we had done all of our deeds, we had, we were ready to move forward with the next leg of this massive fetch quest we've been on. And in doing so, we asked our dude navigator to make a navigation check. And he gave us the, I'm sorry, this doesn't normally happen to me speech as he got us lost. Now, on the plus side, we came across a grouping, an outcropping of these giant siege vehicles. I believe they were in a horseshoe shape.
Yes.
The set in the center of them, basically, a caravan sort of camp had been set up. And we knew right away, Mojave Emporium, we weren't necessarily ready for it. We know that while we're in here, we're going to have to come up with extra soul coins because that's probably, we know that's a currency here. And we did get a little extra. My exact number on our current soul coins is in Indiana. No, bro, we have like 30 now or something because we stole a pouch. I'll get to it. Hold on. So the first stop we stopped at was a barber, and like in the classical sense. So like each one of us got groomed effectively, and I remember them being super nice, super good guy. But they hear this evil thing, and they just seemed completely okay with it. Not that they were okay with evil going on around them so much as they saw maybe themselves as the bright spot in that little dark pit. And they were trying to, gave us a rundown. I believe it was Steve. I keep saying they, but I believe it was Steve. Gave us the rundown of everything that was going on, down to including our first stop when we left her stop, which our first stop was a guy who had soul larvae. And basically he was a slaver. We got in there and we found a member of the camp from El Toro in there enslaved. And we purchased the slave, but to do so, we stole the guy's money and gave it back to him to purchase his slave.
oh yeah, that's right. And nobody was the wiser.
Yeah, nobody was the wiser so far.
I think even Gilwin missed it.
Oh,
like it was like a god level sleight of hand. Yeah,
some of those checks were super good. Yeah, well, no, then it was 29. The perfect is 30.
Yeah.
You can unmute yourself now on this thing. I muted it because I was going to stay in the room, but then I walked out here. Yeah. So you're having the same struggle I was. Okay. So we freed the slave. We got the slave taken back to the siege vehicle that Zariel parked outside of town because holy guacamole, we just needed to get him out of here. Like it would be too dangerous to keep another random NPC with us with everything that's going on, and he was still under the effects of the enchantment and whatnot that had affected him to be enslaved. He had a collar.
Yeah.
That was really sort of where we left off, if I remember correctly. We sent him away. I don't know if we made it to our next stop, though I do think we had discussed our next stop.
I believe that you were going to go...
Yeah.
Or, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we had I think we had discussed and we were like headed out, but I don't remember. Don't quote me.
Well, no, we're headed to a stop within the caravan. Because there's still, I know that there's like an ironworks shop that is got elemental.
Within this the bazaar area, this market,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
And then there's Mahadi himself's place. I know we wanted to check that out, but I don't remember all of the ones that were there. But I do believe that those two that I've mentioned, we had discussed going to one of the two of them.
Right.
But without my notes. So, is there anything else that needs to be added to the backstory, Dungeon Master?
I believe a couple of things. The slaver had actually given you a little quest if you wanted to take it to or to kill Mahadi.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
We were going to double cross him.
That's why we had discussed. I was sitting here going, I'm pretty sure we were going to go to Mahadi's and double cross him.
Yeah.
I just didn't remember why we were going to Mahadi specifically. I'm not saving it for last, but that is what. Was there something else we missed?
Let's see.
No.
I don't think so. Like, in addition to the forge and the restaurant, basically, you also have, or there's also looks like a courier service, which you probably don't need services of, and a tent called Icar's Away, which
Icar's Away.
Yes. Which looks like it collects and sells flasks of demon ichor.
Gotcha. Yeah, we should be glad Rowan's with us right now. Did we not do Icar's Away? Because I have ichor and we had talked about selling it, but I don't know if I actually sold it.
I don't think you have yet.
We didn't
Okay.
we didn't do anything else. We had discussed a few things, like possibly stopping by there on the way to Mahadi's.
Yeah, I want to see if Icar's Away will give us more soul coins. Jaime, do you have a list on how many coins were on the slaver? Because I remember that we got a coin pouch, and I can't remember. I thought it was like 25 or 30.
It was actually,
But I could be wrong.
the slaver actually only had 9.
Oh, I thought he was asking for 9 from us, and we stole from him and gave him.
I think we gave him the 9 first and then stole from him.
I know I've got it written home. I know our total amount is like 23 or something that we have right now.
Well, I think Girk had stolen from him first because we went pay the man, and nobody had noticed him, and
Yeah.
Girk just paid him out of the money that he had taken.
Yeah. It was something weird. I want to see. Maybe when I told Dirk the exact number last time, maybe he updated his inventory.
Well, where are your notes?
Theoretically, in the office. In one of the notepads that should be right there with like the gaming books on the right side of the desk. There should be notebooks and or notepads. And if it's in the notebook, boy, that one is a nightmare for organization because I have like 20 games in it and I flip to different sides of it to get to different pages. But if it's in the pad, it should be near the top, right on the front somewhere. It should also tell you how many. So Garth did update. He says we have 22. Oh yeah, so we stole his 9. That's why I was thinking 30. 22 plus 9 is 31.
Makes sense.
Boom. So we did steal his purse after.
Yeah, I'm not finding what I
Yeah.
think I'm looking for.
Yeah, one page you could also list like my spell slots that I currently have as like little bubbles,
No, I was
and
the
that one
only
will have the soul coins listed.
the only one that was in there was a spiral notepad with a red cover that had Eclipse Cody and my names in it. And as soon as I noticed that, I put it back down.
Yeah, it was probably technically in that same notebook, just on a different page, organized. So when I have multiple games in a notebook, I flip the whole notebook over and open and do it in reverse.
Ah.
So that's why I was saying I have one notebook in there somewhere that literally has 20 games in it, and like I've folded pages in half to like dog ear create bookmarks and stuff to denote which game is which. And I don't think I could tell somebody how to navigate that. So like I would have to envision it in my mind and try to tell somebody how to navigate it. It's gonna be hard.
It's fine.
No. But we know we have not a lot, but maybe a lot for this area as far as the coins go already. Knowing that Boston would straight up say to the party, like, if we can sell some of my ichor for, because I've got 8 vials, if we can sell some of my ichor, then maybe we can make, more soul coins. But if you guys feel like 31's enough to sort of go on for the moment, we can head straight, in my opinion, straight to Mahadi's.
Well, I don't think we know we have that many.
And we also haven't run into anything here that costs soul coins to know if that might be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have no context right now.
Yeah.
For what and Felix and Fikdu, because they were in the heist together. Now, that said, Felix has no idea how much money we ever have at any given time anyways, because he doesn't pay any attention to that. That's how it got started that Fix became the party bank, because at first he was just my bank. Because he's the caravan.
Yeah.
Once we look in the thing, I think we have.
You're cutting out because you're running on.
I think we have close to or a little bit over 2,000 in the party purse.
That's actually easy to check. Yeah, no, the thousands are in silver pieces and stuff. We have 200 platinum, well, 199 platinum, 430 gold in the party sheet, and then whatever you might have on your character. But we were talking about the soul coins specifically.
I don't have any on my party sheet.
Whether? Oh, you removed it all to okay.
Yeah, everything I own is in party chat right now.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to take care of it, and I didn't remember how much of mine was mine and how much was parties. It all just got combined together. So I just started leaving it all in the party chat. If I need something, I'll steal it.
Yeah, well, Baldur's Gate isn't a money-driven game anyways. Like, we can get money because we can go off rails from story and get money, but if we're on the rails of the story, this isn't a financial campaign unless somebody pays us for what we do, you know? But okay, well, if we're not worried about the 31, I say we go to Mahadi's. If not, I say we go to Icarus Away first. What does the party, specifically Gillen, as I always say, you're the current stone. What do you think?
I'm under the impression we're just gonna head straight to the.
You need advice? Ask Druzzl, because he would be the next stone. We're gonna pass it to.
Well, I was gonna say I was under the impression we were gonna head straight to Mahadi's unless Boston specifically brought up trying to sell the coins, and that's why basically why I said.
Boston.
That's basically why I said.
Specifically does. That's what I'm saying. He specifically brings up, like, if we go to Icarus Away, I can sell this and try to get soul coins. Also, the forge is powered by elementals. If we can convince them to help us with our leveling items while we're here, that would be another chance for me to roll a crafting check on the 5 required successes to level them up.
Okay.
So Boston would straight up explain that these are the things that I care about.
I think business can wait a minute. I was saying I think business can wait a minute if we want to get some errands done, so to speak.
And also, GM, you gave us the like 5 or 6 shops that are here. Those are, I'm sure, the hard and fast shops. Are there other just like random assorted like market stalls here, or is it just?
It is just the tents.
Okay. Well, where would you like to go first, Gillen?
Let's see about adding to our collection of soul coins.
Acres away it is.
Acres away.
Give me those coins.
You already have them. Oh, get you more, you mean?
Okay. Let's see. You make your way into Acres Away. There is a human mage, or that is standing there, kind of hunched over. You notice right away that his exposure to the demon Ichor has clearly affected him. His arms, for one thing, have become tentacles with fingers at the end.
Neat.
He also doesn't have ears.
Interesting.
Gillen touches his own in kind of a semi, like insecure way. Like not even think about it. Like, what?
And you've already stepped in by that point, right?
Yeah.
He glances up, notice your emotion, and says, "Oh, don't worry about it. My ears sprouted wings and flew away long ago." Welcome! I am Eliak. I take it you're here for some ichor?
I think we're here to sell some.
At that point, I would probably like
next to Gilwin and be like, if you're interested, of course, what is your going rate?
I buy ichor for 25 gold a flask.
Oh, 1 second. I came out of my headset. It's now coming through the phone sound again.
We can hear you. I can hear you better.
Well, I'm sure, but I can't hear you guys better. How now, brown cow?
Good.
Nope. Damn it.
Can you hear
What
us?
the hell
Nothing?
happened?
No. Oh no.
It's always something, right, guys?
Right. Oh. Whoa.
Still nothing. I think.
How about? Is it a Discord setting or is it your?
No,
headphones
it's a
grabbing that up?
Discord. It's a
You did
Discord
something.
thing. I got it to finally disconnect from the Bluetooth altogether. So we're gonna see what happens. Just yelled connected at me,
Connected.
Connected.
but it's still not coming through the right sound.
No.
It's completely forgotten that the Bluetooth is there as an option.
Oh,
Weird.
that's no bueno.
Hello.
That worked.
Better.
Yep, much better. Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
I walk up and do the business thing and basically try to get him to give us the best possible offer. And I would pull out just a single bottle of it at first. And I'm going to go ahead and roll persuasion, showing that I have some. Do I get advantage on this check at all?
I would like to guide him.
Or
If you cast guidance on me, they'll see you casting guidance on me. So are you okay with it seeing you cast spells on me while I'm trying? Oh, you can't. There's a sign outside of this place that says no spell casting.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Would Bardic Inspiration be a spell?
No.
All right, I'll inspire you instead.
Bardic Inspiration, he would still see you randomly start pantomiming.
It's not a spell. You said so yourself.
I'm fine with it not being a spell. Are you fine with this guy seeing you randomly start pantomiming?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll roll stealth.
If you roll stealth, then I don't see you.
Get your attention. You know to be looking for me. I roll stealth and choose it not to affect you. You're looking for a preordained signal in the pantomime. You're gonna have to roll for me.
So, well, there's no roll for you. You just say I use Bardic Inspiration.
Go on, roll stealth to stay hidden from him.
Then what you would want to roll is Deception or Perform.
Let me see which one I have the higher.
Are you okay with this, Dungeon Master?
sure, why not?
a stealthy, inspiring pantomime.
Your performance is 11. Your deception is 7.
On here says my deception is 11.
You're right. This isn't updated. Deception and insight both need to be updated on this. Cool. They're correct now. At his last level, he got expertise in deception and insight.
Ah, very nice.
So using deception for this, I think it sounds great, but it's the same stat. It's a plus 11 either way.
I'll do
What
it
would you like?
deceptively.
Deceptively. For a 6 on the roll with your plus 11 is a 17. Jaime, is he successfully able to hide that he's trying to inspire me in his pantomime?
I'm gonna have him roll insight. One moment.
And because we know you're a big proponent of this, no cheating.
I would never.
The fact that you said that with an accent does not inspire me with great faith. It's like that joke when Vulcans say they don't tell lies, or somebody's like, "Yeah, Vulcans don't tell lies," and Rebecca Rameen's character looks up and says, "Who told you that? The Vulcan?"
Yeah.
So you're trying to give him secret, or from my understanding, you're trying to give him secret inspiration through your pantomime.
That is correct.
Via the bardic inspiration.
Okay. So Eliak glances over at you and is like, "Is he okay?"
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Oh no! Do you? No, he's asking if you're okay, Fick. You don't answer him, do you?
No, I wouldn't. I'd wait till I was done inspiring you, and then I would.
I would just say, yes, forgive me. May I introduce Stone and Stone's Menagerie, Marvelous Menagerie, traveling performers. I'm going to go ahead and, even though it doesn't apply to this situation, I'm going to go ahead and trigger an ability I never use. Because it fits here. By popular demand, which is my background ability, I'm using it for roleplay purposes here, but what it's for is I can always find a place to perform, usually in an inner tavern, but possibly with a circus and a theater, or even a noble's court. I always receive free lodging and food of modest or comfortable quality, as long as I'm a performer. But all of this is based on the whole Stone name being a known name. Now I get that we're just traveling through Avernus for the first time. However, many of these beings are from the material realm and have ended up here, or have their customers in this particular case would have traveled, and we have done stuff in Avernus under the name of the Caravan of Stone. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of rely on the fact that we're level 11, which under basic rules, which I know is a suggestion, it's more of guidelines than rules, is the idea that like level 4 you become city known, level like 10 you become, or 8 you become, region known, but like by level 20 you're expected to be world known. I'm kind of like leaning into that for this. I mean, when I try to introduce ourselves and hoping this guy has heard of us, and using that by popular demand to sort of back up that we're famous.
Okay, I'll give you advantage. I need to mute for a moment. Orion needs to ask me a question.
Okay.
What's going on?
I guess that means I got your guidance, though, Girk.
That's cool.
Or your inspiration.
Man.
That works. Be inspired. Boom.
Okay, so
Because BAM is a registered
What were the
trademark of
options?
the Lugosi Foundation.
up the thing.
Stealthspiration.
Or just get the new fan. Unless you want.
How many bardic inspiration do you even have?
What do you want? It'd be nice to have a power supply.
What's for the next one? You use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, and yours recover on a short rest because you're level 5.
My preference would be this. I don't like, or regardless of
Charisma
whether
modifier,
it's a
sorry,
big
you have
corporate
3
company.
of these. Maybe
Don't
we
care,
haven't
don't
really
care.
been keeping track of those.
I don't
my
feel right
bardic
with
inspiration either.
Best,
There's not a, we haven't put a marker
Best
in
Buy
like
is
the
just-
slots there. Which those are pretty easy to do, right, Keith? Like with like the lucky button and stuff like that.
but you're asking me. That's my opinion.
Doing what?
So his bardic inspiration doesn't have like a tracker for how many of them that he has. Putting those little buttons in, like the little dots, isn't very hard, is it?
No, you change the mode to preparation. And then if it's if it's number per day, you have it as daily and put in the number. If it's per rest, I think you can just choose rest. And then if it's
Okay,
once,
I just
it's
found them.
once.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Now tracked. Now
Sorry
I know
about that.
exists, I'm gonna go see like that's all right. Keith just taught me a thing about the Fantasy Grounds overlay. That's super freaking helpful.
Nice.
Wow. Boston's bardic inspiration isn't even listed on his character sheet as a thing he can do.
Weird.
That's weird. How did that happen? Oh, well, there's a way to do this, I think. Checking, boom. Okay. Mine are not D8. Mine are... Sweet. I just stole it from Gert's sheet.
What'd you steal?
The ability to do bardic inspiration. On your sheet. So I literally just drug it over to your sheet, and now I'm modifying it to fit my character. I can modify it later. I don't have to do it right now. Now that Jaime's back, though. I need to roll my persuasion check to get the best deal out of this guy.
Yerp.
Advantage tab. Persuasion. I'll take that 31. And because Dirk inspired me, I'm going to go ahead and roll that D8, because why not? 37. I had to, Dirk. I think I finally got your highest roll.
That tied 39. That ties my highest.
This is 37. I think I'm getting 39.
I'm sorry.
I didn't remember you getting 39.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I thought it was a 32,
way.
like 31.
Either
like-
way, 37.
That is still nothing to sneeze at.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe cough at, and someone has to do the Heimlich, but definitely not sneezing.
Yes.
Now, I don't know what all that means for you, Dungeon Master, that we just mechanically rolled a great bartering check so that we're going to have the upper hand in this business conversation, but there you go.
Well, absolutely, and he is very impressed with you. He's like, well then, you're the ones that are stirring around trouble down here.
Oh, Jaime, I have a question. Oh, no, I'm not going to ask the question. I'm going to fucking roleplay this. When you say impressed, the look on his face, which I know, again, his face is not a normal face to read expressions on, and my passive insights is very does he seem like not just impressed, but like oh, you guys are pretty cool?
He thinks y'all are cool.
I like it. Okay. Oh yes, that's totally been us. The party of stone, and I like lay my hand on Cam's shoulder, on Gillen's shoulder, and just sort of like shake him a little bit, like known for the trouble we cause and for the fun we raise. Tell me, you yourself, how long have you found yourself, or how, I begin to inquire about the guy. Like, I ask him to tell me about himself and stuff, because he's working here in Mahadi's place. He might have secrets and stuff that we don't know yet. But he also, straight up, I'm going to try to recruit this guy to our caravan. To leave Mahadi's and join the Avernus caravan. And why? Because from a roleplay perspective, we don't have a sideshow. And the guy who uses Icar and does all this stuff as his day job, suddenly having his night job, quote unquote, be performing with us as part of the sideshow. Come on, man. I'm P.T. Barnum. I have to do this. I have to try to recruit him, and I want to use his familyness for it. So you guys see, like, Boston just like lean over and start chatting this guy up. If you guys have ever seen The Greatest Showman, I am Hugh Jackman right now, like chatting this guy.
Buying him drink with his own money.
No, not that one. We've already used that one, but yeah, basically.
Hold up. Back up a little bit. Weren't you just complaining that you had another NPC that you had to watch over? And now you're trying to get another?
That's not what I meant. When I wasn't tweak them.
Just saying, that's what it came across as.
He doesn't
We've
want the
already adopted
responsibility,
some
but he wants to take that.
You what?
You don't want to clean up after it, but you want a new dog.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We've inherited a good demon. A good devil. We have inherited chickens. We have now found our buddy here that had been kidnapped. We are building a whole new caravan out here in Avernus because we left the other caravan back in Elturel.
You also have that demon in Elturel.
Yep. Well, and the allies that we've made along the way, that owe us favors and whatnot. It's all part of spreading the name. So recruiting someone from down here, from Mahadi's in particular, it's a necessary thing. So I'm going to chat with the guy for a while. I hope that I get from him his basic, like what he would buy for us, at the very least during all of this. But I would make it known, like, we're looking to make soul coins, so if he can help us get it, is always the best plan. Like I said, looking for secrets that he might know that we don't, and otherwise just straight up trying to recruit him. So that's what I'm doing with him. What is everybody else doing when I start trying to chat this guy up? Do you guys interrupt and say your own things, or do you guys just like stand there in the shop?
I play Silent Bob to your Jay. I'll basically be standing beside you, confirming the details as you sprout them. Like, I saw it too.
By the way, do you have your mask on?
Yes.
Okay. So he doesn't seem to pay attention to you when you speak.
I do it pantomime.
And he has minor illusions for no minor illusions. We don't cast spells. So yeah, what are you pantomiming? Just the events as...
Yes.
I'm not really retelling the story. Well, I'll retell some of the stories if the guy's asking questions because we're talking him up. So yeah, anytime
if you tell a story, I'll act it out with my pantomime routines.
And in theory, we do have our sleight of hand based illusions that we've had all along that we never use. Because we just discussed that all the way back in Baldur's Gate. That sleight of hand as a skill can be used for prestidigitation and minor illusion, specifically because I asked for Felix about this. In regards to, it's not actually the casting of the spell, but think of it like stage magic. Like there's always a trick to it. That was what Thunder helped me build, was my gadgets. That's why he was part of it for big illusions. So the presumption is always that sleight of hand could be used for small tricks, card tricks, that sort of thing. Not actual prestidigitation, minor illusions. You know what I mean? So like technically he could do sleight of hands for stuff like that. Create some puppets. Right. Or finger puppets on the wall.
Shadow puppets.
That's what I was trying to say. Shadow puppets. Like put a metal thing around the light and put his hands in front of it, and suddenly now there's shadow puppets on the wall as we tell the story. So, Gilwin, what about you? Are you standing there with me and doing the part of stone, or what are you doing?
Well, this is usually where I would add sound effects. But
instead you're just gonna sit there and nod like I'm talking about you.
yeah, fair enough. Like being the silent
the gargoyle.
Yeah.
Druzzl, what are you doing?
I'm tossing my hammer back and forth between my hands, but if you look really closely, the hammer doesn't actually move. I've locked it in the air. I'm playing, tossing it back and forth between hands, but I could totally stop it and just stay there.
I could see you like halfway through one stopping and scratching your eye real quick, and then like grabbing it again.
So from an outside perspective, as part of the like little performances going on, because I just explained we're performers and we're telling the story of performing, he has revealed himself to be normally would be like a fire dancer or like a poi person or someone who's doing tricks with their tool. That's what it looks like there. He's like just dancing with it, almost like raving with it effectively as he's passing it between hands and he's locking it and then unlocking it. And at some point he randomly lets go and scratches his eye and then reaches back out and does it. And that's the tell, that's the giveaway that it's a trick.
Yeah. Then it just hangs there in the air.
I like it.
I love it.
I want some more of it.
That might be not only one of my favorite role plays Druzzl has ever done. I'm pretty sure Boston just stopped at one point and watched you. And I feel like that was the moment Boston was like, why don't we have him in a show? Like, I would totally break character, look right at Thick and Gillen and be like, how long have you been able to do this?
Wait, you asked me that?
I ask Thick and Gillen how long have you been able to do that? But you would hear me.
Gilman just gives you a look like, I don't know. This is the first time he's ever appeared interested in performing.
I don't think he meant to be performing originally. He was just bored. So you hear all this.
I kick off my mask and say, you want to make some money?
You just say that. So you go about asking Druzzl if he wants to be part of the show?
Specifically if he wants to make some money, but yeah.
All right. So there's the scene, Dungeon Master, is that we're putting on this performance. I begin talking to the guy, and in the middle of me talking to the guy, now Thick is also recruiting Druzzl. So what is the guy's reaction to everything, and how does he feel about me trying to recruit him? And do I get my information?
Well, he's paying intense attention onto you and your words. You also asked him about his past, right?
Yeah, like I asked him all about him because I want to, out of me, that's basically me looking for the whole fate system, create an advantage. If I know things about him, I can use that to try and recruit him. So
Okay.
I'm being very personal in trying to recruit him.
Well, because of the fact that he is so enamored with you and your group, he basically tells you his backstory. He met Mahadi and was recruited into the Wandering Emporium because he was on the run from debt collectors. Mahadi actually technically owns him, paying off, or because he paid off Iliak's debts to bring and brought him here to work. Yep. He is an indentured servant, so he can't really leave, unfortunately.
But we could try to acquire him ourselves from Mahadi.
Very true.
And give us a reason to consider actually killing Mahadi like we have been hired to.
But while he's here, he finds, or he's been here for about 20 years now, and he uses, and he spends his time buying demon ichor, selling demon ichor, and using demon ichor in different experiments. One of them will go right eventually.
Oh boy.
But he's willing to buy or originally he wanted to buy your vials for 25 gold a flask. Now he's offering to buy them for 50 gold a flask. He's doubling what he's willing to give you.
While I totally respect that and will totally sell for that price, does it give me information on a way to acquire more soul coins while I'm here, and or you know, can I get some instead of 50 gold? Can I get like 2 soul coins? I don't know if he has soul coins. So do I get any of that sort of information from him?
Let me see here.
And the rest of the party, while he's looking up what he's looking up, this guy's basically a mad scientist, and I want to recruit him for the freak show. Do you guys think we should recruit a mad scientist? Can we control him? Boston's probably going to try anyways, so you guys might want to talk about what it's a good idea.
I'm sorry, I had trouble understanding you.
So I obviously still want to recruit this guy, even though he's an indentured servant. I want to find a way to get him to join us.
Yeah.
He's a mad scientist and potentially dangerous. How does the party feel about that? Because you guys would totally be aware, especially if you've got any sort of decent insight, that I am trying to recruit this guy.
I've seen you recruit enough people to know that we were probably going to try to recruit this guy before we walked in the place.
You don't think it's a bad idea to recruit a mad scientist?
No. Who isn't dangerous in the caravan?
I think Fix still muted, but he just said him. Yeah. I just heard me from the other room. They're definitely more dangerous than you give off. Alright. So they're just going to let me keep trying to talk to this guy and recruit him. So am I able to convince him out of soul points?
I don't have that many soul coins, unfortunately. I can pay you 1 soul coin for a vial. But there's not very many places here that really deal in soul coins that much. There's the larva tent. He uses soul coins. There's also of course the Rapture itself. But
Rapture, is that Mahadi?
Yeah, that's Mahadi's tent, but be very careful. He likes to upsell people until they're in debt. And then they basically are forced to work there.
Boston breaks character.
Gee.
Felix breaks character and laughing. I'm not worried about somebody trying to talk me in circles. It's very obvious. I'm going to roll a 37 against that guy. Actually, out of game, I'm actually hoping. We don't know if there's like an entrance fee or anything, because like the way this dude played it up like a restaurant, like who fucking knows? So I'm actually hoping to use my popular donations to get in here, even if it's just to reduce the price. I'm hoping that buys us some leverage. In fact, I asked this guy if he thinks our fame would help us with Mahadi when audience with him.
It's honestly hard to say. Mahadi can act impressed, but be very indifferent in actuality. I mean, he has Asmodeus as a patron.
Wait, what?
Asmodeus is a patron of Mahadi's.
That is not a good sign. Not at all. Well, your mouth stuff. I don't know why. Okay, Asmodeus. I kind of look at the party, wondering if they know who Asmodeus is.
Doesn't somebody want us to find Asmodeus?
No. Asmodeus is out of our opinion.
Yeah. He's number 2, isn't he?
Asmodeus is number 1.
Oh. That's right.
He's in the final layer of the 9 hells and rules over all of them. The only ones we're planning to encounter in this one are Zariel and Fisto, which we encountered all technically already.
Okay.
That was ice. But all of them stay on their respective levels of hell.
Right.
So we run afoul of Mahadi. We potentially run afoul of Avernus itself, since this guy's a patron of Asmodeus. So if we run afoul of Mahadi, we have to do it in such a way that we don't offend his patron.
Which may or may not be. I mean, it may be doable because how many patrons are actually that interested?
I am certain Asmodeus is interested in what we're doing. Asmodeus, because we're about to affect Zariel, and this is the first layer of his realm. Like, I am certain that's some sort of eye watching. Especially given all the stuff we've done talking about how we've reached out to gods and stuff. Asmodeus is the most clever thinker in the entirety of D&D lore.
Oh.
How do you think about it? He is evil incarnate.
Yeah,
Lawful
he's
evil
D&D's
incarnate.
Satan. Yeah, he got me there. How about we just don't piss him off?
Is that coming from my book?
Yes.
What did I say?
No, to that.
No, I know. But I asked my book in game. Well, but like, why? Well, I'm confused. What I did that bugged him.
It's like Gilwin said that what patron is interested in.
Yeah, what patron is yeah. Okay, and that's a solid response. The book was responding to Gilwin.
Oh.
Also, to be clear, your own patron has moves in mysterious ways.
True.
Everyone in this party is a warlock, don't forget.
Oh, I know. I'm just talking unnecessary shit.
I heard Gillen, but I missed what Girk said.
I said that was just teenage rebellion.
Yeah, pretty much. Mom's not here to hear me.
In response to the book's reaction, because this might have been one, I feel like I have this vision that this was one of its more severe reactions. I'm sort of visualizing the Harry Potter thing. So for a half second of roleplay, I pull the book off of my back and I stroke its spine to like calm it down.
The fluttering of the pages slows.
Yeah, I didn't realize when it said Sir Elf that it was talking to him at first, because it never talks to anyone but me. So I was like, wait, what? But now you know, Gilwin, who offended my patron.
Apologies, kind book.
You don't even know who my patron is, and you're just like, my bad.
Okay. One responded. I made a statement. One responded. I was put in my place. I apologized.
I like it. Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
Well, then don't do it.
I'm trying to edit this so it has the right dice size for me, and I can't. I drug it from somebody else's sheet. Maybe. No, well, there's a button now to output an entire page's data to the chat. Now you've seen it. Aha! You're gonna let me fix it? No, that doesn't fix it. Because it thinks I'm a level 5 bard because I stole it from Dirk's page, but I'm not a level 5 bard. I'm a level 3 bard, so that should be a D6, not a D8.
Maybe Master GM can unlock it for you.
No, it's not that. That's
Oh.
I can already unlock it, but unlocking it doesn't let me modify the effect box for some reason. Like the effect box isn't there.
Weird.
It
Maybe
only
you can
lets me
make it.
modify the data, not the effect box. And I might need to what?
Make the effect.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to make a whole new thing from the ground up.
No, you should be able to just right click it and go to add action and then add effect.
Oh, just create a whole new.
And just create a whole new just effect.
But how do I get rid of the old effect then?
You right click on it and go remove action, and it'll remove that effect. Like on the effect itself.
Reparse action. Oops.
No, that was
reparse action. That's not something.
Yeah, that was you right clicking on, like, for example, Hunter's Mark. If you right click on the effect underneath it, you can remove action. Unless you're trying to remove the piece called Bardic Inspiration, in which case you'd right click on it and it'd be just delete item.
Yeah, it didn't.
Left.
I don't have a add or remove effect anywhere or action anywhere. The only button that says actions is reparse action, no matter where I click.
Interesting.
You may have to make the new effect before you can change the old one.
Yeah, but he's saying that he doesn't even have the option to make the new effect.
Oh.
That is curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may have to manually make your Bardic Inspiration.
Yep, I think I'm gonna have to, which is annoying. For right now, I can track my Bardic Inspiration and know it's a D6.
That's all of my abilities are manually made because half of them don't transfer in correctly.
The add action button is so when you're in the prepare page, I didn't have the add action. When I changed the mode back to combat, the mode back to combat, the add action button came back.
So I leave my mode in standard because combat will filter things out that the game thinks is not meant for combat.
Okay. Mine, I think, normally is in standard as well. I only had it changed because I went to preparation to fix that thing originally. So combat's where it bounces to. But, okay. Now I've got an effect. How do I modify it?
Click the hourglass.
Sorry, honey. Aha. Okay. Well, now that I know how to do that, I can affect that later. I don't need to interrupt you anymore. So, the party is admittedly scared of should be scared of Asmodeus, and we are now aware of the danger when dealing with Mahmudi. I'm going to go ahead and sell this guy 1 vial for a soul coin, and we'll say 4 vials for gold.
And what was that last part?
And 4 vials for gold.
Okay.
So just because that's a good round number, it's 200 gold, makes life easier.
Sounds good. He accepts the trade.
Okay. I will add the soul coin to our soul coin inventory, but the party sheet, I don't know that I can modify. Yeah, I can't. So you will have to add the 200 G where it's the 430.
Done.
Groovy. Sweet. And then in the middle of this sort of exchange, since I'm still really am trying to recruit him, how big is his debt that he owes Mahadi? And I basically asked him, like, if we can somehow help you settle your debt, like, would you consent to joining us? Not as a, I basically call it out for what it is. Like, the disdain when I think of it as slavery is obvious. So I call it like, would you be willing to consent to give up servitude for a life of travel and places? I view him as a scientist in freedom. Like, you'd have access to travel, which would give you access to places like we've been to Candlekeep and stuff like that. And he'd be a coworker with us and a companion, as opposed to a servant.
That does sound nice, and it's been so long since I've had to think about it. I think that my debt was a few hundred platinum.
We will talk to this Mahad.
What was that?
I said, okay, we will talk to this Mahadi. And I just straight up say that to him. And literally, I do that as like, business is concluded. In my mind, like, we have a plan. Now, what we do with it as a party is whatever. But I literally, like, thanks for your business. We'll talk to him. And I turn around and walk out.
Okay. He waves after you and says, bye.
What was this guy's name again?
It is Eliak. Let me go ahead and type it. Yes, I'll type it out in the chat. Oh, whoops. I'm still in the Gurk name. Or in the in the Carl language. Yeah. Where's Common? Meh. There it is.
Cool.
Well, I guess it can select no language.
I added it to my adventure notes in Fantasy Grounds.
Yay.
Oh, I guess I could add it to the notes on the side, but for the moment it's added to the notes tab.
Okay, so you leave, you leave Icarus away. Were you planning on going straight over to Rapture?
That is my plan. Well, no. Did you still want to do business, Stone? Did you want to go check out the forge?
It kind of seems as if maybe it's a little more pressing to go speak to Mahadi, and then.
Yeah, I feel like Mahadi's opinion on us being here could be very much more important. When we leave, I guess I also want to confer with the party. What do you guys want to do? This Mahadi, we had planned on betraying the slaver to Mahadi. Then we learned that Mahadi's basically keeping slaves of his own. He's working them up to death and then keeping them trapped there. He's technically the lesser of two evils in this regard. Plus, he's got a big backer. Boston is not lawful good. He leans towards lawful good. He's chaotic good at best. He is of the mentality that, like, delicate ecosystem. Leave Mahadi standing, and it's better for us. If we don't fuck with Mahadi. But like, if the party, you know, has the mindset that this guy's just as evil, like,
Look how much he does for the good versus the evil, and compare them.
we don't even know if he does any good. He just
Yeah. We are in hell after all. Like,
Yeah, we're in hell. We do good things.
well, I
Sometimes.
mean, like, people aren't
We're here,
expected
Bob.
to be doing good things.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he is actually doing any good things that we've heard of. Ask around him.
The way we've just been informed and knowing that Mahadi's patron is Asmodeus, it's possible Mahadi himself might be a little bit of a underworld information dealer in a lot. He sees a lot of people in this market. He's probably
I'm
got
sure
high
someone
intellect.
as devious
as
as
far
him
as-
has realized how much good of a commodity information is.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. So we could kind of walk in relying on that, and we could probably walk in relying on our fame a little bit, not in that way that like guaranteed he's going to treat us better. But I suddenly have this image of like a Vegas casino guy. Like when big money walks in, you approach them as big money, and we know this guy tries to own us. So
Right.
even if he doesn't know our fame, he's probably going to say he knows our fame and lean into it. Now, if I actually use favor of the gods, I have to work for him while we're here. I have to perform, or not favor of the gods, because that's not the ability. By popular demand, the requirement for it is that I have to work every night, or I don't get the free food and free lodging and whatever.
Right.
You know.
One of my characters has that. I forget what it is.
So, do we want to walk in expecting that guy to be a casino type, con man type guy that probably knows way more than us?
You cut out on that last one.
I don't remember what I said. I was reading something.
Oh.
So, like, what do you guys think? How do you want to walk in there?
Cautious at best. But
Not
go
spoiling
ahead.
for a fight.
Okay, that matters to me. Not spoiling for a fight is what matters to me, because that means we're not immediately considering Mahadi.
Yeah, I don't think we need to make an enemy out of him. In fact, maybe we should just recruit him.
Well, I have to recruit Mahadi. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I think that might also be above our pay grade.
Maybe.
I expect him to be someone like that. If we had to fight him, we could fight him. But when you consider the caravan and consider that he works for Asmodeus and everything else, like, dude's got some mighty power up his sleeve. And even if we defeat him, we would cause or recruit him. We're gonna cause some major upset. And
Yeah.
it's either going to be fight or do business. I think is what we have as options.
Yeah.
Personally. But you're Stone. If you say, Carl, I'll try to recruit him, I'm going to be like, all right, let's hope for a nat 20.
Well, I don't mean necessarily recruit him as in.
But earn favors from him, like we did with our other guys. Because technically I'm including the Yugoloth or whatever, the one that we rescued, as somebody that's part of our newly gained band once leaving Elturel. And technically we just have a favor from him, not him being recruited.
Yeah.
I would love to recruit him because I had this whole mentality of like, now that I have the freak show idea, the sideshow idea, I feel like our mad scientist is the sideshow, but he's like the guy he's the Napoleon of the sideshow. He's the big one that's running the sideshow, quote unquote. But then grab like the Yugoloth is the replacement for the fishman, that sort of thing. you know?
Mm-hmm.
If we can bring these people to the material realm with us and use it as part of our show, like, come the F on.
Yeah. Could you imagine the rich snobs trying to get in to see Hellions?
But at the same time, it's perfect because I'm trying to turn that part of Elturel that we've broken part of it free because we blew up the bridge. I want to leave part of it here as a beachhead, as a separate, like a port in Avernus that does business in forth with Elturel return to Earth. That's what Boston wants to do.
Okay.
That's the compromise. He is not so hopeful as to believe you guys can save the whole city. So the whole time he's been here, the whole time Rowan was here, the plan for Boston is to consider what the compromise would be. And leaving a beachhead here that's a port that helps fight demons, but is also like a trading post, is perfect because you could then have the traveling caravan that has devils with the traveling caravan. They bring our new friendly good devil back with us and everything as well. And
Devil Crusaders, so to speak.
Yeah, and we travel the major cities as a show, having already gained popularity with our show in Baldur's Gate. We have a freaking theater being built there right now. We'd be able to sort of spread the word of Elturel being on the literal front line of the fight against the demons.
Yeah. Like,
that's the plan that Boston is planning to present to Zariel. Like, I have this whole idea that I'm going to walk up and be like, here's the deal. You're going to want something, I'm going to want something. So why don't we stop pretending that that's not true and just aim for a compromise from this?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, but that goes along with like the people that we recruit. I'm totally down. Actually, like if somehow these favors survive, being like, come on, the Obsidian Dragon. Imagine if Tiamat's way of wandering the earth, of wandering the Sword Coast and Zariel and whatnot, is by doing so from a sideshow. The most beautiful woman in the world, except it's frickin' Tiamat, and nobody knows. Like, because they always have the snake woman is the most beautiful woman. This is the dragon.
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's all perfect. It's right there. If we can save our favors of that and be like, the favor I've requested of you is for you to come work with me, to travel the world and have it vented for so long as our mortal lives pass. So this would be a blink in the eye of some of these powerful beings. Oh my god, you just gave Boston a whole new game plan. This is all your fault. Oh, that's Stone Gargoyle. This is what you have brought to the caravan.
Fair.
But either way, so yeah, I mean, I guess that sounds like, to backtrack quite a bit, that we're planning on going straight to Mahadi's.
That was a long-winded way to make that decision.
It was. It really was. But it walked us through every possibility we needed to know. Does Druzzl have an opinion?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Well, then, yeah, I guess we're just going to head on.
Okay. So, as soon as you walk into Infernal Rapture, like this is probably just from the outside, this was the biggest tent out of everything, but it is significantly larger on the inside.
Like expanding magic type large, like Hogwarts or Harry Potter style, bigger on the inside.
Yes.
Tent.
Absolutely. Let's see.
Smaller on the outside.
smaller on the outside.
And the first thing that you see when you enter is a little podium that has what looks like a very simple contract. It says, it says at the top, in order to partake, you must follow these rules. First, patrons must pay for everything consumed and all services used before you leave. Number 2, no fighting, which was already on the signs. Number 3, no magic. And violators of this contract will be asked to work off any debts or offenses that they have made. Please sign. Basically, accept, or if you want to be here, accept the terms of service.
Yeah.
Ones that don't read it.
I actually think I am going to use the whole fact that I'm the contract guy to I mean, obviously we read it as simple rules. Is it simple rules or is it like terms of service? Like, are there a bunch of like small script? Because if there are, I'm going to roll deception on it to see if there's loopholes or anything I got to worry about.
I said terms of service as a joke. It is just that simple.
Okay.
Like, basically, don't stir shit. Don't stir shit and pay for what you do. Or and pay for what you ask for or what you get.
Is there nobody around to be like, can we see a pricing guide if we've got to pay for it?
There is also a devil. She is wearing a typical I shouldn't say that. She's wearing some pretty fancy clothes as far as servers go. But she is there, waiting on the other side of the podium. And she bows. She bows at the waist and welcomes you. Welcome to Rapture.
I nod at it and I say, simple enough rules. Still, I do have a question and a gesture to, about paying the prices. Just curious before we walk in, I'd hate to walk in and find out that your simplest cost is 100 gold or 200 gold or, I don't know, 1,000 platinum. Or, dear me, who knows, dozens upon dozens of silver coins. And I just really played it off nonchalantly, like we're big news, like, well, no, that kind of money doesn't concern me, but at the same time, like, I'd like to know. I'd hate to walk in and find out it's that, and somehow I can't afford it. Do you perhaps have menu? Is the way I say it.
We do offer menus. However, the price for everything is the same. Let's see. A meal here a meal here comes with an appetizer, a main dish, a dessert, and bottomless coffee or tea. No matter what you choose off of our menu, it is 1 soul coin per customer. Your dining service also comes with a light spa amenity. That includes body, foot, and hand treatments, massage therapy, skincare, and general grooming and bathing. You will receive your own private area if you decide to take that spa service. We also include specialty services, and specialty services are an additional 1 soul coin each. This includes dream therapy, full body restoration, longevity therapy, and a variety of other services for any kind of appetite you might have.
Resist the urge to cringe. And what if we wished to meet with Mahadi?
Oh, that wouldn't be a...
with the master of the house. I would say it's something the Lord of the Manor.
Oh, he frequently wanders and speaks with the guests. You will likely encounter him during your meal.
What if someone specifically wanted to seek them out? Someone who could be a person of value that would profit him.
It would probably start with buying a meal. If I know anything about businessmen like him.
Well, that depends. Is what kind of, is he like a tight ass businessman? Then yes, probably. But if he's so I worked in New England with all these Italian guys, and they were literally like, come out and give people hugs kind of guys. But these same guys, because of that, liked to be reached out to because they were backroom businessmen. So if someone of enough had enough weight to throw around, walked in and asked to speak with them, they'd be like, absolutely, because it helps them just to be seen having disappeared into a back room with this guy.
As long as he's not previously engaged, it is likely that he will come and speak to whomever requests his presence.
I look at Fick and ask him psychically, are you okay? So you said it's one soul coin per meal or 1 soul coin per item per meal?
1 soul coin per meal, which includes an appetizer, main dish, dessert, and bottomless drinks that are coffee and tea.
And then the light spa treatment.
And then the light spa treatment. All of that is included for 1 soul coin.
Sounds amazing to me.
Yeah.
How many members of our party are there that are currently here? The 4 of us at Lulu, that's 5. Oh, I turn to Lulu and I say, dream therapy. They offer dream therapy. We already know your dreams or where your memories can be found. Is it possible that you could find more here?
It is likely. I am concerned about what they would do with that, being the nature of the people here.
That's fair. I do not brush off for concern. I just sort of nod okay. And I turn back and I say, well, so is it just the 5 of us? Because we sent everybody else back. Even our NPC has gone back, hasn't he, to watch our other NPC? Or did we just send the devil back? Is your character with us right now, Jaime?
No, you had him take... or...
The goofy guy back.
Yes.
Okay. So it's just us, and even the bearded devil was still back on the vehicle, wasn't he? Did you guys hear that question?
What was that?
Even the bearded devil on the siege vehicle, isn't he?
Yeah, that is correct. He stayed on the siege vehicle.
Okay. So yeah, so it's just the 5 of us with Lulu. So that's 5 soul coins. Vic, are you okay with spending that just to get us in?
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Hey, refresh my memory on soul worms.
Oh, the larvae?
Yeah.
The larvae are found on a different plane typically.
Okay.
And they basically act very much like soul coins, except you can eat them.
Okay. Because I have 3 of them. I pocketed my 3 instead of eating them. So.
Garrett, do you tip more like you normally do, or just give just the coins?
I would tip the
left as you did.
not with extra soul points.
How much gold would you like to tip?
Let's be generous and do 50.
The bundles of gold that we just got for 200 gold or whatever for the Icar, 50 of it comes right back out and is given to this little devil.
Sure. Works for me.
What kind of reaction do we get from her at such a tip? To be like, man, gold is worthless.
She goes wide-eyed, bows again, and thanks you for your generosity. I will go see where Mahadi is right now and let him know that you intend to meet Lulu. You're back.
No, we already know her.
So the girl said Lulu in your back?
No.
Interrupt yourself and stuff? Oh, another voice.
Yep. This man has a salt and peppered beard, wears a head wrap around his head, and blue clothing adorned with articles of gold. He approaches Lulu and does an air kiss on one side of her face and an air kiss on the other side of her face.
What's Lulu's reaction? Does this trigger a memory for her?
She is she looks very confused and stunned.
Immediately the guy and say, well, yes, of course, you know, celebrities, we must travel and we must travel together. You didn't tell me you have friends here. Completely like, we're just Lulu and me are celebrities and this is our entourage, and who are you, guy?
I don't remember having friends here.
Did the guy introduce himself? Because, like I said, I approached with the mentality of like, arm around Lulu, we're celebrities together. Talk to me, not her.
Pardon me. Or, I apologize. Pardon my rudeness. I am Mahadi.
Mahadi? Mahadi was not.
I had the privilege of sheltering Lulu for a little bit. I found her wandering lost in the wastelands.
I nod and say that's a familiar problem. You'll forgive me, Mahadi, and I will like nod to him and introduce myself as I'm actually going to take control of Stone right here in this conversation for a little while. I introduce myself as Felix Balthazar, the great boss Stone of Boston's traveling menagerie and Emporium, And you'll forgive me if your visage is not what I expected. The stories do not do your, and I mean, it's obvious that I'm expecting him to be erections. But the way I say it is, you're not what I expected, and in fact, the stories do not do you justice do not do your handsomeness justice.
You're you're very kind. I find that my patrons are more at ease when I put on this visage than in my normal form. It's a shapeshift, you understand.
Yes. The original signs outside said no spellcasting. The sign or the contract in here said no magic. That's how you read them to us. Is it that specific? Because remember, my suit can change my physical appearance. It casts alter self on me. Would that count as? I mean, it's a magic item doing thing. Would it count as me using?
Sorry, I misspoke. It's supposed to be no spell casting.
Okay, because it's no spell casting. Yeah, I trigger my alter self and immediately change to a human form of Boston from his cat form, and I look right into this guy's face, and I'm like, well, while I can appreciate the endeavor and the attempt at a redecoration, I sort of look down at my body and I say, I don't like it. When one can be of a feline nature, one should be, I feel. And obviously, I'm almost snide about this. I'm not trying to be insulting, but I'm acting the way a snooty person would, a rich person would. This is just, you compliment and insult in sort of the same breath. And so that's sort of how I say all this and turn myself back into my tabaxi form.
He laughs, and as he laughs, his form shifts and changes. He grows easily a foot taller. His features become more that of a tiger, a demonic tiger. And his hands kind of reverse, like with the thumbs up, or the thumbs that are normally up, now they're down and the palms are to the outside, as a Raksha would. Before bowing again, and he opens his green slitted eyes.
I lean over to Druzzl and whisper, if this guy grows any taller, I call dibs on his kneecaps. If it turns hairy.
Boy.
Far be it for me to deny any form of comfort to my guests, especially one of your acclaim.
I beam at him.
Okay. Well, it's good to know we have been heard of. To that end, there's some business that we might discuss. Some how do I say it? Some of us take our pleasure with business. Would I ask him to join us for dinner and say, there is a matter to discuss that may be profitable to him?
If that is what you wish. I still have some other guests that I need to check up on real quick. But if you would like to go ahead and get comfortable, we can get us a private, or I can get you a private booth.
I'm not very graciously. And then while we, as we get ready to head to the booth, I just sort of got on the guy in the place. And, this is better than I would have expected in Avernus, and, mentality. every compliment is just backhanded as it is forward. Like I call out that it's a tent, but wow, this is the coolest tent I've ever seen. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone who's had a chin job look as good as yours.
That's bad.
Look who said it.
Does he lead us to the booth?
He turns to the hostess and says, "If you wouldn't mind." If you'd be so kind as to show our guests to booth 4, I believe it's open. She nods, takes a couple menus, and says, and then bows to the group again. If you would follow me, please. And then she begins to escort you.
Because I have been actively making statements of this is the plan like 15 different times tonight, waiting for him to do something random, and nothing's happened yet.
Sorry.
I didn't get a response to that either. Druzzl. Are you over there, Druzzl?
Yeah. And I know we had a conversation.
The big thing was just knowing, like, all night tonight you haven't actually done anything outside of the plan yet. So I'm waiting. Like, Boston in game is actively, like, he keeps looking over his shoulder to make sure you don't wander off. Now that he knows you go outside of the plan sometimes.
Have you noticed that most of the times that I go outside the plan are combat?
It's true.
Yes.
They really are.
Or initiating combat at that.
Or initiating
That's the
combat?
concern. That's
Yeah.
the concern.
Yeah.
I don't know, it hasn't felt right.
Boston doesn't know that. Boston hasn't been with you as long as the rest of the party has.
It's
So he
fine.
is constantly watching you, and like it's noticeable because I'm sure your insight's high enough. You're a wisdom character.
Currently,
Insight's an intelligence skill.
No, it's wisdom.
no, it's wisdom. It would be
Oh,
a
never mind. I'm thinking
It's-
investigation, sorry.
That's wisdom.
10 plus modifier, right?
Yep.
So passive is 18.
Yeah. So even with your passive insight, you can absolutely tell. Like I'm watching you like a hawk, and with your insight that high, you can probably assume it's because I just know you're going to do something crazy at some point, and I'm trying to make sure I'm ahead of it. So find what humor in that you must. This guy is like watching you.
So you notice every time you look over at me, I'm doing something slightly different. Either making a face at you or completely ignoring you or balancing the hammer on a finger that's, not actually balanced on a
Yeah.
finger.
I'm kind of visualizing that scene in the cartoons when somebody's doing something behind their back and then you kind of look and it's different.
Yep. But no, I don't have any. I don't currently have a reason that I know of to go off plan. So
Okay. And yeah, I also keep a really good eye on Lulu while we're here. I mean,
Okay.
Lulu's been here before. The concern is that somebody might try to elephant nap her.
No, that's fair.
So I'm actively keeping an eye on her, which, again, my perception's not that high. So I would use my psychic ability because I just remembered like 2 sessions ago I even could talk telepathically, and say to Gilwin, keep an eye on Lulu.
Okay.
Okay.
I also want to be clear. Nah, I'll be clear with my guys when we're in the booth.
I just want to be clear that I'm not sure if I'm insulted or complimented that you didn't assign someone to watch me for doing for stupid shit.
It usually doesn't. Like, has actually been pretty on. Like, no, I'm sticking with the party. Oh, I gotta shoot something. Okay, let's shoot something. Sick rarely goes off plan. Why, you say you're evil, but I say you're lawful evil.
Yeah.
I
Which
can still
even,
hold
to be
that
fair-
sword that I use.
Yeah, which to be fair, Doctor Who is lawful evil. So, I mean, lawful evil isn't the insult it's cracked up to be. But do we get to the booth, and is there a description for it, or is it just this like private room? Is it a box? What do we got?
What I was going to say is that on your way to the booth, you do catch the eye of people that are looking, or you do catch the people of other patrons that are eating in the general dining areas. 2 of whom look somewhat familiar to a couple of you. Basically, anyone that isn't Druzzl, you can go ahead and roll. I guess insight would probably be the best roll for this to see if you recognize them. They are a powerfully built woman and a slightly smaller man that has a bucket helm next to him. They both are wearing chainmail, and their chainmail has painted on the symbols of Bane.
Bane is one of the dead 3, and we wiped out their little cell in Baldur's Gate. But, Gillen, I got a real grip. My bad. Gillen got a 15, I got a 14. Druzzle doesn't get to make the check. Six gets a... really fucking good. 26.
Holy cow.
He's got a +9 to insight.
Well, I do too. I just rolled a 6.
So, Gilwin and Fick recognize them, which I guess is fitting, because they recognize you too. These were 2 of the people that that Thunder actually wanted to spare. Like, you knocked them out. They were actually dying, and he healed them and locked them up in manacles. But the next time you came across them, they were gone.
They were dead.
Are these people in the manor that we knocked out before we went down in the sewers?
You didn't, or this one isn't in the sewers. This was underneath the bathhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We had tied them up, and when we got back to them, they were dead. I remember this. What is their reaction to seeing us?
Like, the female stands up, or stands up and points. The fuck are you doing here?
That was really aggressive.
Yeah, she's aggressive, but it's mostly clearly in confusion, not in
Accusatory.
not accusatory.
Same thing you're fucking doing here, existing.
Existing.
Only we're here
Yeah,
on
no,
purpose.
Yeah.
Are you saying you
Uh,
exist on purpose?
No,
I have
we're
no idea who this woman is, and I see them sort of interacting with her, and I just kind of like look at them, and I recognize their gear as being members of the cult, but since I have no idea who they are, I just go, I think my friend means to say, we're grabbing dinner, same as you. Weird. And I look back at the little devil that's taking us to our booth, and I say, are your guests commonly accosted by each other in here?
Mm,
And I keep walking towards our booth.
What do the servants of Tiamat do you into?
I come to a stop.
I don't know how much information I want to give this person.
Then don't give her any.
I telepathically say, do you know these people? Remember, you can't talk about it telepathically.
Oh yeah.
Unless you know the telepath.
No, I don't.
Barely.
Yeah, we fought them before.
We're kind of responsible for their deaths.
You just say that out loud?
For the most part,
In
yeah.
response? I just kind of stop and I look over. I assume I still don't have any idea who they are, even with what he says. Or is that enough to jog my memory?
That's enough to jog your memory.
And I say, the disciples of the dragon will have their day. That is to say, we'll go after them. We'll have their day. However, even that cult is not that which you may remember. We did the greatest vengeance upon them that we could. We changed the church's litany. So basically, that's me saying, no, the cult didn't do us in, and don't worry, because the cult is not the cult that you remember it being. They're done for.
Yeah.
The woman just kind of blinks at you a couple of times, like, can you speak plain common? Your flowery words just went over her head.
I let out a and then I try to relay it as best I can in layman's term, simultaneously being insulting and complimentary, basically telling the entire story. And I go, I not won my persuasion check. Does anyone have an inspiration? Do I have an inspiration for my recap at the beginning of the game?
Yes, you do. Sorry.
Okay, I'm burning my inspiration to re-roll my persuasion check.
Valid.
I only rolled a 4, but I got a 16. For fuck up that bad, I knew the pepper and he broke the pepper's feet.
Okay, so she kind of nods slowly, sits back down. So what? Your other cat friend survived?
Yeah, he parted ways with us.
I say we had a difference of opinion and just walk away.
Okay.
In game, her question, anyone with an insight higher than a 15 is aware that Boston's entire attitude just changed and he has like angry. Nobody's actually actively asked so far in game about what's happened to Clever Thunder. But when Clever Thunder left, Boston sort of viewed him from a mentor mentality. And Boston doesn't feel abandoned, but like he was teaching Boston in the downtime, like how to fight without using the blades and stuff. And so like that was a whole part of Boston swearing off the blades. We had downtime trainings with or spending time together with Clever Thunder to help him with his morality quandary because paladin, why not? So yeah, anyone like this is the first time anybody's asked, so the whole party sees me like get basically snappish about the question of Clever Thunder, and Boston's now in its feels about it.
Okay. Getting snapped at, the woman just kind of raises her hands and stops asking questions.
You guys are still back there with her at the table or in the walking path, unless you guys decide to walk off with me, because I'm headed towards our booth.
It's not far from there. The hostess opens up a curtain. And your booth is very lavish. It has pillows allowing you to stretch out and relax. The table is comfortably within arm's reach of almost anywhere from within here. It is very spacious, very luxurious, very soft. And there is a warm scent kind of wafting in the air.
Yeah, I immediately just go in and sit down in the booth. What do you guys do?
Yeah, I'd take a seat.
You just walk away from the other few like I did? Or follow me?
Oh, I kind of thought that they disengaged. That's the way I understood it.
She raised her hands to be like, I won't ask any more about that topic. But Boston was the only one that actively was like, it was obvious I'd said what I was going to say, and I just walked off.
Yeah, Gillen would have respectfully disengaged. I'm
giving him a nod and then followed me.
Yeah. No need for an awkward social situation.
Sick, what about you?
I would have shot the shit about old times, but disengaged.
So you might have been the last one standing there talking to him?
Pretty much.
That way they didn't perceive us as rude because Vic was the nice one.
Are you, Druzzl?
I'd follow you guys currently.
Yeah, you just walk off with me like I don't even know who these guys are.
Yeah.
Solid. So you get to the booth right as I do, and then Gillen comes in behind you, and then Pick eventually catches up.
I feel like Druzzl would have probably gotten there first. He's like, I don't even know y'all at all. No reason for me to stop.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get there, Druzzle gets there, and then, like, Gillen is, like, just a half a second behind, and then Fix gets there last.
All right. So the hostess leaves menus on the table. The menus are in infernal, but everyone knows infernal, so here's a translated menu.
Oh, cool.
Vine blight salad, pan-fried myconid cap with garlic butter. Myconids are sentient creatures, but they're a fungus, so I've always been curious about them. Spicy shredded sturge sliders. Sturges are like vampire bats. Creatures.
Yeah, I can.
Like, as a
Yeah, they
slider.
drink
I
blood.
mean, that sounds good to me. Broiled clippers served in port reduction, so wine reduction. Roasted wereboar seasoned liberally with pepper and paprika. Twice battered axe beak strips with a brandied plum sauce. An axe beak it's basically a giant chicken with an axe for a beak.
Chocobo, basically. The axe for.
But with an axe for a beak.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Deep fried miniature giant space hamster, seasoned to perfection with rosemary, basil, thyme, and tears.
Honestly,
That
that's
one
not
just sort of
something
came
I
out of
would do.
fucking nowhere.
Y'all were talking on top of each other.
Yeah, that's this kind of sounds like something from a kid's menu.
It
Dessert.
does.
It does. Desserts. Candied phase spider eyes in raspberry liquor reduction.
Oh, I definitely want
Sweet
some of
apple
that.
tart with a celestial caramel drizzle. And rare miniature stench cow cheese selection. Okay, well, for my appetizer, I am gonna have the sturge slide personally, because myconids are sentient, and I feel like eating a vine blight is probably not good.
But it's been pickled.
It has my attention, but I feel like it's probably not good. Considering that while I'm not a druid, the whole point of my tome is that it's the farmer's almanac of the world, and that's why it gave me 3 druid spells when I took it. Like, I look at Vine Blight and think that that's just a bad idea. I feel like me and Gillen are probably going to be like, avoid Vine Blight.
Yeah, it just. No. The Sturge sliders did stand out.
That's what Fix having.
I can actually transform into a Sturge. We've encountered them.
Yeah,
And they're a
Druzzle,
beast.
do you, what do you think for your appetizer?
For my appetizer?
Yeah.
Maybe the myconid cap?
Even though it's a sentient creature? You're a dwarf. I could totally see. I mean, dwarves live in undermoons and shit, and that's where Mike and it's. I could totally see you eating like a.
Yeah.
That's the one that actually has my attention, but like, I just can't see my character eating a Mike and a cat.
And I kind of want to try the roasted wereboar.
That's his main dish. For my main dish, I'm gonna do the axe beak strips. And I think Gert said he's also doing
Sliders.
No, for your main
Oh.
At the axe beak strips. What about you, Gillen?
The kippers and a port reduction had my attention. Even though a kipper in D&D is probably something vastly different. No, they're basically a piranha. Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
Wow, I can't hear you at all, Carl.
Is Carl speaking? Because I can't hear him either.
My mic because you were in the room. Yeah, I muted my mic because you were in the room and forgot.
Oh, okay.
Gillen, dessert.
Oh, definitely the candied spider eyes.
Yep. That was mine.
Okay, so we know there are 2 desserts. What do you think, Phil?
I would do something different just so that there's something different. I wouldn't really care. So there's 2 desserts left. Let's flip a coin for them.
Okay, I mean, I know what I want to do for my dessert.
All right, then do that, and I'll pick the last one.
Okay, I'm getting the sweet apple tart with a celestial caramel drizzle. Are you kidding me? That's not only is that the most normal thing on the menu, they've got celestial caramel. Like,
Does sound interesting.
but you're getting rare cheese board with rare miniature cheeses from Stench Cows.
I kind of want to try that.
So super smelly cheeses, and super smelly cheeses are usually the best.
Yeah, I know.
So what do you think? That frankly, Garrett, the stinky cheeses, considering what your rations are, the stinky cheeses sound right up your alley.
Would you share with me? We try some of each others.
Actually,
Sure,
the cheese would actually probably be pretty good with the apple tart, depending
it
on.
would be. That's how people in Wisconsin eat apple pie is with cheddar cheese. And
Yeah.
Montana, they eat apple pie with cheddar cheese.
My mama from Louisiana liked apple pie with cheddar cheese, as long as it was hot. It had to be hot.
Yeah.
If you're willing to share, I'll get the 4th one. Otherwise, I'm gonna get the caramel drizzle myself, or the celestial drizzle myself.
Now
Maybe
let's
I'll
share.
get a little side of celestial drizzle.
I think it might cost extra. Do you want to pay extra, or do you want to split dessert, bro?
We'll split dessert.
I love it. And I'm doing coffee. What about you guys? Coffee or tea?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do tea.
I don't know why I see Gillen as a coffee drinker.
I don't know why I see Druzzl as a tea drinker, but that was perfect.
Same.
Like, I could just see, like, when he's in the bars, he drinks the strongest ales and the strongest whiskeys. But otherwise, he just likes to wind down with a nice cup of tea.
I feel that you guys are like expecting me to order coffee, and I go tea, and y'all go, yeah, okay. Like you give me that like what look for like 2 seconds, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yep, that makes total sense. Guys, what about you, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Absolutely.
I love it. 3 coffees and 1 tea. So, Mr. GM, you've heard all of our orders. What does Lulu order for her 3D dishes?
Lulu orders the vine blight salad, the broiled quippers, and the sweet apple tart.
What is her drink? Does she get?
What was that?
I'm curious to see Lulu with caffeine. I'm curious to see Lulu with caffeine in her system. Is she getting coffee or tea?
She's taking tea.
Yeah, I expected as much. Everybody sort of almost ordered exactly what I expected them to. I'm kind of happy about that. When does so we order our meal? Do we have time to hang out before it gets here?
Yes, you do have time to hang out before it gets there. Being that it's a smaller menu, the cooks likely will have, or you can assume that the cooks will have a lot of everything prepared ahead of time, so they can just slap it all together whenever is asked for. But let's see. Not long after you put on your order, does Mahadi make an appearance.
Okay, and Mahadi joins us before our meal gets there.
Yes.
Okay. So it's like sitting in the booth and he walks up. or does he like come in and take a seat? Because I mean, coming in and taking a seat was sort of the expectation.
He doesn't presume to take a seat. He walks in and says, and asks, is everyone comfortable?
We are, very much so.
Wonderful.
You have quite the impressive menu.
You're too kind. Thank you. You said you wanted to discuss business. Would you mind if I took a seat?
I would absolutely encourage it.
He smiles before sitting himself back down, or sitting himself down near the entrance of the tent in case he needs to get up again. And so, you said that you had some business to discuss.
Well, first, I feel like there needs to be a testament of character so that you know what business you can trust with us. And I figured that having a moment of private sharing dinner and breaking bread was the easiest way, because it may take us a moment. Because I'm sure you've heard, as you said, our name's slightly renowned, that you've heard story. And for you, our reputation is just that, story from other mouths. So basically, I'm going to roll persuasion, but I want to give him enough of our story to have reason to trust us. But specifically focusing on, because I want to get this information out there. Because if he has this information, he'll use it. And he doesn't know that I'm manipulating him by giving him this information, whatever. I want to talk about how like peace is now going, potentially not peace, but like the discussions going on between Mad Maggie and the other warlords, like Princeps Kovacs, and stuff like that. Like these, and that's basically what I do. Is I talk about the deals we have brokered just since being here, and I basically then say that I'm telling you all of this so that you trust then the information I'm about to share. Your life is in danger, effectively. And we have an awareness of who, I basically explain, like, we want to share this information with you, but we know how the system works. Nothing comes cheap, nothing comes free. And while I have given you so much free information, you know that the dollar talks, the soul coin talks. So we wish to sell you this information so that you have every reason to believe that your purchase ensures its validity. So basically treating the information as a business, because we have made contracts or what hell's all about. And I, during all of this, am also going to try to figure out about his businesses that he does, because I'm going to, like I said, we take our business with pleasure, thusly the dinner and the conversation. During this time, I'm going to try to get from him information about Elliot, because I want to know how much Elliot can. Because ultimately, I'm be like, hey, if you give us X amount of platinum, we'll give you this information. If X amount of gold, we'll give you this information. And then I'm going to turn around and immediately give that money right back to him to try to purchase off LAX contract. Or if not, find a way to include the purchase of Eliac in the contract, in the conversation of exchange of information. But so how does he, first off, I'm going to roll persuasion, but how does he react to me informing him that somebody wants to kill him? Because I figure this is probably not new news to him, but having someone just be like, I know exactly what's going to happen, might be new. So, and my persuasion.
Oh.
Okay, I have an ability.
I was gonna ask, is there any way I can offer help? I've recently become proficient in the persuasion skill. and I haven't had a chance to do anything with it.
I mean, you can aid another, basically be part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So then I would just re-roll, but roll with advantage. Can he aid another?
Yeah.
Simon?
Yes, you may.
So benevolent.
And don't you forget it.
24 on persuasion to basically tell him who we are, give him reason to trust us, not just, the word of mouth that's gotten to him from here. And to figure out the cost of Eliak.
That sounds about what I've heard about you. It's not every day you come across someone who can make allies with not one but two warlords.
It is to that end we seek allyship with you in this moment of trust. As you know, I look at coins. I'll pull some coins out just haphazardly and sort of set them on the table and fiddle them because, I don't even know if they're silver or copper or gold, whatever, because I'm not paying attention. Again, money's not a thing. As you would know, through the growth of your Emporium, that different things have different power. Currency has its own power. These allyships are simply my currency, or our currency. After all, for us to do business as performers and entertainers, we have to be able to cross the lines of these factions and not fear for our own safety.
And what is the price of your friendship?
Oh, it's not a matter of price of friendship. Friendship's easy to come by. If friendship's what you seek, I straight up hold my hand out. Like I'm going to shake his hand if he'll reach for mine. And I say, if friendship's what you seek, then does he take my hand?
Not yet. He's like, okay. Different people expect different things from their friends. That is what I'm asking. What does friendship mean to you?
Friendship, to me, is not the course. For me, friends are commodity rarely spent because friendship's a commodity rarely spent because it can't be trusted. You do not know the value of that which you purchase when you purchase it with friendship. Where I put value is I go to what I always say. I put value in the laws of the heralds, which is that basically, I'm sure he probably, given his status, knows how the heralds work in Forgotten Realms, but to iterate it again, heralds are basically ambassadors, and they're 100% immune to just about any issue that would come with trespassing and crossing borders and whatnot. They're the ones that get punished. Like if I am a herald for one kingdom and go to the other kingdom, you don't even shoot the messenger to send a message. That's not a thing that exists in the Forgotten Realms mentality of how the heralds work, because heralds are held under contract that they cannot acquire power of their own, and they can't all this other stuff that governs them as a body, so that they cannot be a threat. They're literally just a mouthpiece. And while that may not be the way it is in Avernus, those laws are an immutable fact of a thing that exists. It's a document out there that exists. And so basically I iterate it to him that's sort of how I view the world, is that it's not about what I get out of it. It's not about the purchase. It's about successfully being a mouthpiece for these places, because that's what a herald wants to do. And right now, there are no mouthpieces between all of these organizations in Avernus. And more so, there's not a mouthpiece between the levels of Avernus. And there's not a mouthpiece between Avernus and the material world. And that's what I seek, to be trusted enough to be a mouthpiece.
Interesting goals that you have for yourself.
Not just for myself, but for all. There's a term, a matter of parlance, that exists for someone in my position, should that someone in my position exist within a single city. I believe the term is Master of Rebels. That is all we see. If disparate sides come together over our rebels, then such is simply the path of fate. The stars align, they shoot through the night sky, and bring wishes to far-flung destinations, and things change. We do not seek to be those changes, simply to exist within. I look at Gareth when I say this, simply to exist within those changes. It doesn't hurt that, and I kind of look around, even though we're in a tented room, and it doesn't hurt that we do have celestial backing. And as part of the telling the story, I point out, I bet this is where I tell that, like, not that one of us is a god, because I don't know what you would do with that information, but that gods have helped us, that we have worked with Bell. Like I said, we talk about, and because, like I said, I talk about all the deals we've made to sort of do our stuff. I flare up my Nyx spawn. So basically, I reveal my true self. He revealed his true self as Rakshasa. I reveal my true self as the Starry Night Van Gogh thing. Further illustrate. I love that I have this ability and I only ever use it for role. Its mechanical purpose is to cast light, and I use it to flare my powerful members. Basically, that's what I'm offering you. I'm offering you the information of someone who wants to kill you, and someone you can trust, because it's literally my job to be trusted. And in exchange, in that conversation, I have also asked, like, how much does, I would find a way to lead the conversation with that 24 to indentured servitude, and try to tilt the conversation to specific people out in the other shops. And, like, I'd be like, oh, what about the slaver down with the worms? And what about that old woman that's the barber? And eventually I'd be like, oh, and what about this Eliab? Someone told me you own his contract. What's that worth to you? And I'd very nonchalantly slip it, since he's wanting to talk about worth of friendship. I'm still hoping he's going to tell me it's only a couple platinum, or a couple hundred platinum.
Let's see. Did you ask him in that order? The larva farm guy, the slaver?
Yeah.
Okay. Zeneth. Zeneth. I helped him rise to power. He destroyed entire kingdoms on the material plane. All in the name, so much he did. He actually caught the eye of Maglubiet.
Who's my Glooby?
Let's see.
I can roll a religion check for Dirk. He's got that. He's got his god book. Let me mute my mic since you're going to come in the room.
He mentioned that the slaver guy, the one that wants to kill him,
Right.
is a servant, or was, caught the attention of a god known as Maglubiet.
Oh,
Now, out of game, I know who that is, but in game,
I should.
you've got
but
the
I don't.
religious book, so I figured I'd give you the.
I would absolutely look it up in the book, since I don't know it. Though truthfully, I've had this book for a long time. I would have read it and reread it like I do the rest of it. I would have it pretty much memorized.
That's why up until now, whenever god identifications, because of the book, Jaime's given you, Jaime and Wes have given you advantage on the check using the book.
I do that this time.
So,
Okay,
Gert, can he have advantage?
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm cooking dinner. It's almost done.
Very nice.
For a 24.
I thought you were doing dishes, so you know.
No, I'm cooking dinner. Dinner's almost done.
Okay, so Maglubiet is basically the god of goblins. Like,
Don't I speak Goblin?
that is a good question.
Yeah, that'd be a really good question.
Where abilities? You do not. You speak common, gnomish, infernal, and primordial.
One of my characters speaks goblins, and I thought it was Fick, but it might be Cam's game, Tilly.
Maybe.
Okay.
Could be.
But Maglubiet is the chief deity of goblins, hobgoblins, and other goblins. He is basically the leader of all the other goblin deities.
And this guy, Rakasha tells us that the guy caught the ire or just the attention of Maglubiet.
Attention. Like, positively.
Oh, okay.
He was in fact offered a position to command forces on the battlefields of Gehenna.
Oh, wow. So how did he end up here with you?
I collected on his debt. Or when he died, or I collected on his debt, so when he died, instead of going to Gehenna, he came to me.
And what of
And what of whom?
the barber, the kindly woman who seems entirely out of place for this outfit of yours?
She just kind of appeared one day. Like, I have no contract with her, but she makes our patrons comfortable. So I said, why not? As long as she pays a fee to keep, or as long as she pays a fee to keep her tent open, she's more than welcome to keep working here. She pays in gold, or she doesn't like dealing with soul coins. But she's handy to keep around.
Indeed. And I don't know, you have so many interesting tents here. What about that liquor place? Most people in Avernus seem to be trying to get rid of.
Oh, Icarus
Hear me?
are Eliok. Well, he's an interesting fellow. Kind of a mad scientist of some kind. Pretty insane. Or pretty insane if you ask me, but you have to be in order if you want to experiment with Demon Icar. He was on the run from
The
death.
rest of the party has
He was on the run from debt collectors, and I offered to pay off his debts and return to him working here. That was about, I want to say 20, 25 years ago. And in that time, or let's see, he had racked up a debt of about 750 platinum, but he's almost worked all of it off. He's only down to 200 platinum.
Well, at least I'll say that much to you, and then and I say this in a very gracious fashion. At least it can be said of you that unlike many here, you seem to honor your deal. I know I'm very aware with that I just said in the lawful hell they don't honor their deals.
Thank you.
Technically we're not in hell right now.
What do you mean? I look at him very quizzically.
Oh, the Emporium is a demiplane. It is my demiplane.
Interesting.
And you can simply open it into different places in the nine house.
Absolutely. That's the easiest way for a wandering Emporium to travel.
I sort of gesture in a big circle around me and I say, and the siege vehicles? I say, and the horseshoe. What's the point of the horseshoe, basically, is what I'm asking, if you're just using a demiplane. Is that just for looks?
It's easier to see.
I look at him mildly impressed because the amount of power it would take to just have a frickin' traveling demiplane, which, yes, we know he belongs to Asmodeus, but he doesn't know we know that. Can I ask what the value, basically we need to know now what the value of the information is to him. Because eventually we would have worked our way into the conversation.
Well, that depends.
If you wanted me to...
That depends. Are you asking about gold, or are you asking about souls? Or soul coins?
I mean, to be frank, it seems business in this place is done in both. So curiosity abounds.
I mean, I can also deal in larvae if that is more your speed.
No, I find that I have not yet acquired my last. So, gold or platinum, or I'm sorry, gold or soul, which, what's the value to them in both of them, I guess. And I'll see which has more value to me. Because he doesn't know it, but by answering this question, he's setting an exchange rate.
I know, and I'm trying to decide what an exchange rate is, or what an appropriate exchange rate is, because these are magical items, technically, and they do...
And the exchange rate's going to kind of be different depending on where you are in order. Considering he's a traveling Emporium, it's going to often be sort of set close to his.
I know. So this is a very, very difficult question to answer.
I wonder if I Google it, if someone out there has done any sort of math out of curiosity. While you think.
I was about to do the same, honestly.
I mean, there's technically one.
There's technically one from what?
Baldur's Gate 3, because you can sell your soul coins, and I think they're only like 25 gold a piece or something.
That was about what I was thinking. I was actually thinking 50 for a soul coin.
Soul coins have enough utility in Baldur's Gate 3 to make selling them unappealing and choice overall, no matter how much the offer of 100 gold might beckon. So in Baldur's Gate 3, it's 100 gold.
Okay.
Hey guys, just a heads up. I've got groceries coming in just a second, so I'll probably need to take a break for a minute when they get here.
Bio did and stuff outside. I found another thing, Jaime, from the Alexandrian that says soul coins in Avernus, remixing Avernus, soul coins are worth roughly 50 platinum pieces.
50 platinum?
Yeah. 100 gold would be
1 platinum.
10 platinum.
Or it'd be 10 platinum?
No, 10 platinum.
Okay.
Yep. So that's your two exchange rates that I have found so far is 10 platinum or 50 platinum. And obviously you can scale that up or down as fits you, but that's what's out there as some of the top searches on Google and Reddit. Yeah, because it's 10 gold pieces to 1 platinum. So yeah, 100 gold pieces would be 10 platinum. Ideally, I want to give him the information and then be able to turn around and knock with goal off like 100 platinum or 50 platinum off of the cost of the mad scientist.
Okay, we'll go with the 50 platinum.
Great. Okay. So then, basically, what's this worth to you in if you want to tell me in gold pieces, I can make the conversion myself if you need me to. So whatever's easier on you, Jaime. But basically, what's the value of this information to you? Like I said, I know you have, I'm sure, many enemies, but to know that you may have one in your own camp, I see being valuable information to you.
I can see that worth being 1 soul coin.
Okay. I look at Gert and I say, telepathically, I say, hand me 3.
Say what?
Hand me 3 soul coins.
Okay, I do.
I completely break the decorum of we're being casual to go straight to business. And basically, when I say that telepathically to Fix, I sort of like snap and gesture with my hand the way like a businessman would if the guy behind him was the money man. So I just kind of like snap and gesture. And he hands me 3 soul coins, which I immediately look on with disdain because I can't hold more than like 1 normally. And I set the 3 on the table in front of Mahadi. And I say, you seem to understand the value of In the middle of all this, you have shown me that you understand the value of purchasing debt, and I'm afraid that I find myself curious about such value. If the information to you is worth 1 soul coin, I give you 4. In exchange, I give you 3, including the information, which counts up for the 4th one. And I will give you this information plus these 3 coins in exchange for the mad scientist services. I would like to purchase instead.
He raises his eyebrows.
I say of a second curiosity, as I give you the information, I find myself curious and offer for you to consider. We do not do this again for our benefit. We do it for the benefit of the realm and the. I explained the whole Herald thing again. Basically, I tell him that if he would like to hire us to deal with the person that's a threat to him, like I point out that we're for hire, because we are a voice for everyone. And also I don't like this guy. Not this guy, but the bad guy, the slaver. But he cocks his eyebrow, shows that he might be interested, and I say without the contract, and hopefully he doesn't try to come back on me and say, well, you gave me this information without a contract, because that would suck. This guy's not a devil. I'm hoping he doesn't need a contract for everything. But based on the idea of sort of a gentleman's agreement that we might be here, I basically straight up inform him that the slaver, the one who works for Maglubiet, had caught the attention of Maglubiet, is currently trying to hire travelers, adventurers, to bring an end to the Emporium's power structure. Going so far as to say he even attempted to hire us.
Of course Zenth would try something as Zenth. You never cease to amuse me. A deal's a deal.
I was about to say, by owning that man's debt, you will have the distinct pleasure of doling out whatever punishment or whatever recompense, obviously, that you deem necessary for his behavior. But I must admit to my own morbid curiosity about this, thus my attempt to acquire Eliac. And I look as honest and sincere, like that I don't understand the social dynamic of owning an indentured servant. Because I don't. Which is why I want to acquire him and set him free to join us.
Honestly, I needed someone that was willing to deal in Ichor. My Emporium can not only be found on Avernus, but it can also, or occasionally, if I'm feeling a little spicy, I'll go over to Hades and other planes. I feel more comfortable bringing my Emporium to Avernus. Naturally. Not as chaotic. But having someone who can...
Go ahead.
But having someone who is not only willing, but is enthusiastic to deal in Ichor is a boon. If you want to pay off his debt, I am more than willing to let you do so. On one condition. That he agrees. If he doesn't want to, or if he doesn't want to leave, then who am I to make him?
On that, we are in entire agreement. Moreover, and suddenly my demeanor goes back to the business deals as he says he travels to other realms. I basically hint at, I don't fully unload the story, but I hint at my whole compromise that I talked about that we've known the whole time about me trying to leave a little fort of humans and devils working together against the demons, because that's a lucrative business option for him. Like, he likes to travel and he likes to engage with other markets so that it's lucrative for him to have like the Ichor trade and whatnot. Having that fort there would make the acquirement an Ichor trade significantly better, because
Hey,
then
guys.
they have something like mortals they can trade with. Yeah.
The groceries are here. I can listen, but I'll be AFK.
I need to bio. So wrapping up real quick this, you can go ahead and AFK, but I'm wrapping up this real quick. Basically, I say that like I show him what a good business to deal it would be to also be in business with us for the future. Should our plans go right. And also, by getting some of this information out to somebody that's that powerful, it's going to get back to his patron, which means it's going to get to Zariel. So Zariel is going to know we're coming and we have deals we want to make. All simply because we talked to someone as powerful as this guy. Justin being, he's effectively what I'm trying to be. He's a herald in his own way for his motives.
I put groceries away while I was on the phone.
So, do we want to pause there while we let Gillen do his thing?
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. I need to go use the restroom anyway.
How dare you be human?
I'm trying.
To not be human?
I was gonna go with to be human.
What? 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 I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Huh?
Nice.
It's like having a printed out job application with the little button that says click here if you're not a robot. Is that what they're called?
Captchas.
Yeah. I'll go with you. I'm not going to smoke, but I'll go with you. Okay, it does it automatically.
Yeah, but I'm already disconnected. I don't have to worry about it cutting.
Alright. I'm going to show you the code to get in the house in case you ever come over in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Yeah, because now that you're in Colorado, you have privileges as if you're, staying with us. So that means doors and yeah, it basically I'm giving you a key to the apartment. It's you put in a code on the thing. It's randomized at first for 4 numbers, and then once you put that. It'll clear itself up once I get out here. This is about where it switches over. But yeah, I'll give you the code when we're not online. Okay.
Not having has made me have not. It's cutting out. You could do it. Not having my notes has made me have to wing it.
Just like I do every week. The one time I wrote down notes, I forgot where I put them. Still haven't found them. That was before we moved to this apartment. That smells like that there wacky tobacco, young. The marijuana in your hand? The marijuana in your hand? I'm glad we got these instead of those. Because having to cross the street to get to the gas station would just be a bitch. To be honest, I think that's my only. Well, that and the whole dog issue. That could pose a problem. Hello.
You can hear you echo. I can't hear you echo.
Did you just say hello? No, I said hello, but that's close enough.
I left the Druzzl. He's like, I'm just going to
And the random hand.
It just went through. It was weird. You said it, and then like 10 seconds later, it came through.
Weird.
Weird delay. Let us know when you're back going.
I think pickleball is just tennis only smaller.
Different kind of racket.
But I mean, the concept is the same. It's just like miniature tennis, min pen. Oh, one of the days that you're out here, Carl, we're gonna have Cam come pick us up, and we're going to Fort Collins for go-karts.
I'm down.
I didn't get to do it for my birthday.
Yeah, I'm always down for go-karts.
It's the only way I can drive anymore.
Fair enough.
Well, legally and safely.
Good.
I theoretically could go get my license back if I wanted to chance it.
Not as of 2 years ago. Because at 40, you have to take specific eye tests you don't have to take before then. And if you don't pass the eye test, they won't give it to you.
I'd have to go on a good day then. Because on a good day, I can outshoot Cam. So says the guy who did that like 5 years ago.
Waiting for Cam to chime back in eventually. We're only going to gain per hour or so anyway, if that. It'll basically be the next good wrapping up point, probably. Just for what time it is. We usually wrap up. That would be an hour from now.
Yeah, usually. About 7 our time.
I'm excited for that cookbook. Like and Elven Mule.
I'm just really surprised that there's no haggis recipes.
Right? There was more recipes in there than I found in those lists.
I almost heard that.
Yeah, those claws are loud. There's more recipes in the book than I found on the content page. The content page does not list all of them. at the human side, even had rations, so literally like freeze-dried nuts and shit. So actual rations. Kirk abandoned me.
I did. Made it easier to hear. Plus, you walk a lot faster than I do, so you might get there at the same time I do.
If I was walking full speed, I'd probably pass you. I'm not far behind you.
Yeah, you know what I meant. Yeah, I woke up old the other day. I went to the doctor because my hip was hurting. I have arthritis in it. So I can't put on socks and shoes anymore without assistance. Hey, boys. Yeah, we're going to the front door.
So,
Yeah, but you. So you have sort of you have 2 liters, but they're generic. But you have 4 2 liters of diet or regular. You have 4. Because they're only about 27 doing it that way. Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry to kick you under. No, I don't mind.
I'm back.
Hi, back.
Looks like
all we need is Cam.
Yep, Cam is still working with groceries. Cool.
I just want to point out that I received a grocery order and you guys didn't hear me putting them away at all. But then again, I, for all intents and purposes, am here alone at the moment.
Yeah, I want to say there was literally no listeners. You got the whole last family, including an injured wife. Finding
Part of this
there is another part of this
conversation.
I need you to put this
that I had to walk away from. Sorry, you hear me echoing. Another part of this conversation that I guess I would have brought up is pointing out the benefits of allying with us, like us being friendly, is that this is about also when I would have pulled out my my popular demand. Basically saying, like, you're a traveling caravan, like, let's talk about contracts for signing me up for shows where I come put on shows and stay in your resort. Like, maybe during that time, I don't pay soul coins. I just hang out in the spa, pay normal gold prices or whatever. But, you know, in exchange, I'm performing. Or, you know, we know actual workout contracts when a guy works on a cruise ship or something. Like, Boston would straight up be trying to throw the conversation there. Because how else would we travel and get our information? Things to say that will always start a fight. Mandalorian is a better space western than Firefly. How, you ask? Season 2. Fuck off. It's better because it got a season 2. That's rude.
Are you okay?
Nope. You're a monster.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Cam, your mic is still muted. Come back. We missed you. Not actually been that long.
Yes, I'm still in voice chat, dear.
Hey, dear. Which deer is that?
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
I bet it's the one in the road.
That's Oreo.
Hi, Oreo.
So it's not the deer in the road?
The group says hi, specifically Carl.
You're not gonna tell him that I keep calling him a deer in the road?
No.
No, I felt that that's better left unsaid.
So, Jaime, the questions on the table as we walked away were, we agreed to, we'll leave it up to Eliak, of course, but we're offering him a job and hopefully impress him with 36 or 37, and when I go back and try to impress him again, roll higher maybe. But if he's not convinced yet, I hope he's already convinced. But if he's not convinced yet, and then also pointing out the benefits of allying and also trying to work here, and in exchange for me working here, I either pay cheaper prices or I get some of my shit for free. But he doesn't have to sign on the dotted line right now because obviously we have an adventure. But that's the role play that's going on because I can't miss that. I am a showman. Would you like me to roll persuasions in the conversation or just continue with our current roles?
Go ahead and roll persuasion. This is effectively a different deal. Oh, oven's preheated. I'm gonna put in my taquitos.
Okay.
What if Rick actually waiting for the oven to be preheated?
I do.
Man, I really need the bards to inspire me. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm looking on my actions tab for my skills.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
You're fine. Dirty 20
Okay.
for my persuasion.
I just sent you a message in the group chat, Jaime.
On Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay. I felt my pocket buzz. I think I just received it.
Yeah, that's totally gonna work.
Well, I mean, it might. Cooking all that acid off in there.
Oh no.
Especially if they're still sealed and then explode everywhere.
That's totally what's gonna happen.
Oh no.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
I've said it before, I've said it, and I'll say it again. I've got a meme for just about every situational conversation.
Oh, Carl, he was telling the truth. He did outshoot me that day.
Nice. Nice. All right.
And on my
What
guns.
do you think, Zar? Oh, even better. What do you think, Zar? Golly. Dungeon Master?
Overlord.
He strokes his beard as he ponders. That sounds reasonable to me, I suppose.
Just put the measuring cup down, I'll put it away.
And I won't necessarily hold you to a strict schedule either, since you're travelers as well.
So an open consideration of work when we're both in the same area?
No matinees.
You just chime in randomly from whatever.
Yes.
This would
I
be
don't
fortuitous.
go out drinking and have to get up in the morning to go to work.
Then how about this? Each performer who features in his own performance gets a complimentary or receives a complimentary meal for each of their performances during that day. And that also comes with the spa service, or with the light spa service as well.
Out of game rate, that basically is saying, from a mechanical standpoint, that any one of us that performs during that gets the my ability by popular demand. Because that's what by popular demand is. Literally, you perform for an hour, and so long as you perform, you get modest accommodations, modest to comfortable. So modest would be normal, comfortable is next step up accommodation. Now this place doesn't have rooms, I assume, to stay in, but otherwise normally it includes them.
Right. Isn't that what you were trying to argue for?
Yeah, but I mean it was, but mechanically we hadn't really, it was just a role play thing that we hadn't thrown a mechanic to. So like I'm saying, is that what we're doing is mechanically you're granting that to the whole party? My class to the whole party for when we work for him? Like I'm just so that we have a static thing to put to it. Is that basically what you're saying?
That is what you were trying to go for, right? Yeah, absolutely. Then,
I'm not at all arguing. I was just looking for, because you were describing it in a roleplay way, which I was loving. Don't get me wrong. I'm asking from a mechanical standpoint. Is that what it is?
Then yes.
Nice. I kind of look around at the rest of the party, but I nod and I say, I believe we can agree to those terms. And I sort of pull the whole I'm stone and this is my unilateral decision. I then immediately look at Druzzl because I've now made a plan. Is he going to interrupt and say, "No, I'm good"?
Plan? What plan?
What is this plan of which you speak?
I look right at the guy and say, "It's a deal." If he doesn't know what the plan is, we're fine. Much easier for him to go along with it if he's just looking up and things are happening.
Now he extends a hand to shake.
I shake. Whenever we need a distraction, it's Druzzl. Simply, we just won't tell him what the plan is and see what happens. Yeah, I shake his hand, and we come to an agreement. Because he said no strict schedule, and it basically works by the, if we show up and say we want to work, that's the benefit we get. Which is great, because that's typically 1 soul coin a piece or 50 platinum. So that's a solid deal. And it's a working agreement, which gives us business arrangements we can make with this guy even beyond this campaign.
That, and when we did the bathhouse, I was kicking myself for not making use of the facilities before we slaughtered everybody.
Well, we never really got the opportunity to. Like, we literally walked in and the bad guys were there.
Yeah, I know, and I've been disappointed ever since on an internal level.
Yeah, I like that we had that little spa session last time, though. But now we have, like, an actual spa.
Yeah, when you let go of hands, the appetizers come in.
I kind of look around and I feel like we've been talking the entire time. And out of game, I assumed we were talking over dinner. So in game, I like the idea that my character just like forgot that he was supposed to have dinner. Like he was in here having business. And then so he just literally looks at the food and is like, what? Oh.
Yeah, you just went straight to brass tacks.
Oh, well, that cut out because of multiple people.
Sorry, I was saying, yeah, you went straight into brass tacks.
I love it. That's okay. Business is business. I also sort of accept the Avernus time stop type stuff that can happen as making me believe that like the meal stuff had already gone. From our perspective, we could have been having this conversation for hours, but it was mere moments before the meal arrived. Like that's a very magical universe. So that's sort of how Boston just experienced things. And also because his meta ability, I could see him like noticing that there was a weird time dilation. And that's why he's like, what's the food doing here? I would be completely surprised by the arrival of my shredded Sturge sliders. And I would pick one up and immediately nosh. Like, again, we've talked about since the beginning of the game, I have different ideas on what's personal decorum. I'm a cat. Well, food's there. Nom 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 nom.
Slider. They're hand sized anyway.
They're tiny cheeseburgers, effectively. Like I see Kitty, I have cheeseburgers.
That didn't even come to my mind when you ordered sliders. Can I have cheeseburger?
I feel like I should get an inspiration point for that.
Why
I'd
not?
second that for him.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, no. Nice.
But when the appetizers meet the table, Mahadi stands and says, "If you'd like, we can talk more business later. However, I have more guests that are to welcome and greet."
Absolutely. We shall allow you to continue your day, and after dinner we will avail ourselves of your spa facilities for getting out of your hair. When I say that, I bristle my fur. I know I'm in animated form or whatever, but ooh. Now I gotta ask. I joked about the whole infernal time dilation, but if the infernal time dilation does exist, I think Felix actually has a way to know. My Nyxborn stuff comes from my divinity and whatnot, but it only lasts for 10 minutes. That conversation felt to Boston like an hour, even though it was just the minutes before the food arrived, because you said that they had stuff pre-prepared and stuff, so the appetizers should have gotten there fairly quick. Even though that conversation felt like hours. Is my animated form still active?
Sure.
Okay, so it really did happen only in 10 minutes. Wild. Boston doesn't know what to think. How did we manage to get that much business secured that fast?
Time flies when you're having fun.
And apparently, business deals are fun to Boston.
Yeah.
Then if you'll
I see it.
Go ahead.
All right, then if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, lady. And he proceeds to leave.
As he steps up to leave, I say, I do have one question, and it's literally as he's walking away. I'm now doing I'm leaning on our business deal agreement right now, the moment we've made it. I say, as a question, you know.
Oh,
hold on a second.
I'm only in here for a second.
My taquitos are ready. I'll be right back.
Oh, timing sucks.
He just got out of the room. Remind me, I'm going to ask him about Lulu, in case I forget, guys.
Okay.
Carl.
Yeah.
You watch a movie with me after gaming?
Sure.
I want to watch Blood and Honey.
Sure. That reminds me, Keith, since I don't know when I will be home, I thought about this hard. Lower decks the current season of Sabrina, and the current season of Supernatural. If you want to watch all of that without me,
I'm back.
you don't have to wait.
Okay. We'll
I
see.
figured that's a bunch of shows you'd be able to watch if you wanted to.
We'll see.
Fair? Okay.
Fair, but we'll see.
Yeah, I just didn't want you stuck waiting. Okay, Jaime. What was I going to ask him about, guys?
You said that you were leaning on the.
Yeah, I'm leaning on the fact that when you walked away, I told the guys what I was going to ask about so that I didn't forget.
Oh, okay.
You expect me to remember that?
Any one of you. I literally said, guys, remind me when he gets back. Lulu, thank you.
Yeah.
I immediately say, in the spirit of our working relationship, a member of our party, I'm not at Lulu, seems to have come through here, and in the spirit again of this friendship and this, I actually say that, this friendship, as you see her memory is light. Is there anything that you can tell us about that we may not already know? Out of them, he may know her memories or something else. And now that we're in an arrangement, now would be the time to tell us if he knows something else. But should I roll a persuasion to get anything out of him for that one, or something? Or has he already told us everything?
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Since I'm leaning on the conversation, do I get advantage on the relationship?
No.
I just don't get disadvantage. Tell me something good. 21. My persuasion rolls actually haven't been great since that 37.
I haven't.
He thinks about it. He says, well, you already know most of everything with our relationship. I found her wandering the wastes, sheltered her for a little bit, and, or I guess the only thing left that's, or the only thing that's left to mention is that she had taken a spill into the River Styx. And that was when we parted ways.
Telepathically, I say to her, that explains your memories. I've already told everybody the River Styx will erase your memories because it is the river of memory.
I thought that was the river Lethe.
No, we talked about this in D&D, all there is Styx.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
all
right.
of them.
I do remember that conversation now.
Can somebody with a higher insight than me, because I bought, that's metagaming. Jaime, consider the party's passive intelligence, or passive insight, and I think we've got some pretty high ones out there, 18s and 20s. Would anybody in the party wonder and wants to ask him, because I feel like Boston just wouldn't think to ask him. Would anybody in the party think to ask, how did she fall in the River Styx? Like, cool, that's simple. She fell in the River Styx. I've explained everything. That's good enough for me. But I really want to ask him, how did she get from your care to the River Styx?
So who threw you in the memory bath?
That's one way to ask it. But that's assuming, like I said, Gert, that's metagaming. So would any of you guys think to ask that question? Look at your stats. Look at your stuff.
Like,
would any of you think
plus 19 to my insight, or plus 9 to my insight. I think I would think to ask that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think most of you guys are 18s, 19s, and 20s on insight.
I'm a 19. If Girk wouldn't have asked it, I feel like Girk would have asked it sarcastically like that. If he wouldn't have asked it like that, I would have asked how she fell in.
I'm also trying to trigger by asking these questions out loud. Because she gets her memories back from rolls, and I want to trigger a memory roll for her. Dang it! I'm trying so hard. I've been asking since we gotten into different little areas. The last like 3 areas that we've been in. In fact, I've asked, and she hasn't had a reason to.
Yeah.
So, what does she say? Do we let it slide the question since their insights are all high enough to consider that there might be to ask that question? Because I just don't think that Boston would.
You are getting awfully close to metagame. I will allow it this once.
Ooh, I know how to solve that. I've talked about this before as one of the optional rules that exists in the book for inspiration points. They can be spent like they're called destiny points then, but they can be spent like fate points. I will totally spend my inspiration like a fate point if you would like to justify my metagaming and telling them that question.
I'll allow it.
Hot dog. All right.
Yeah, because we used to love using fate points for shit like that. That was like the best part of fate.
I have to agree because not everybody thinks of everything in the moment, you know. And you.
Yeah, and the thing is, I actually read in they've released some of the preamble that's going to be in Player's Handbook 2, and in that they say that something along the lines of how good you are isn't really going to come over. Like your character is going to be better at things than you are. So having input from the other players at the table might be better at things. Which can
they're opening it up for metagaming in the story.
Yeah, as long as it fits within story reasons why the person. But that's all side tangent.
Yeah.
So they have I spent the point. You guys have reason to ask the question. Gillen and Girk, who asks first? I think Gillen said if Girk doesn't ask sarcastically, you would ask. So Girk gets his sarcastic question. Who threw you in the memory dash? Absolutely.
Mahadi stops leaving to turn around when you ask that. They were devils. Loyal to Zariel.
I lean over the breast and I'm like, wait, is it devils or demons that we don't like?
Yes.
Demons are our primary adversary at the moment. But there's a struggle on all sides.
Okay.
And he said this, or she said this?
Mahadi did.
Mahadi says they're devils. I'm looking to her. Because like I say, I'm still trying to trigger memories. Does she get a chance to roll any memories on that? Hell, I don't even know. She may have already given us all of the memories that she has, but I'm trying.
I can't remember. That sounds right.
Well, at least it gives us a starting place. Do you perhaps know where... No, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. I was about to say, do you know where she was thrown in? And we already have, like, 5 locations we've got to go back to. I'm not about to ask for another side quest location. That's just not gonna happen. My cat is ADD enough. I've now got enough things to focus on. I'm not gonna ask where. We're not about to go roll investigation on that spot. Out of game, Jaime. Rowan is alive, and he made it here before they did. He's overhearing this conversation with his 21 passive investigation. He'll go look at it. He's following them, running his own investigation. How about that? That way, if I need him at some point, we can just justify that he was out there watching them already and they didn't know it. So he'll do the investigation. Hell, maybe there's a whole ass side party with him.
Our lobies.
Oh man, I could totally move our lobies to this one. Because he's totally high. I mean, he's the same level as these guys, our mains. So he could totally be the mentor character that leads the lobies out on a side mission. That might have to happen. Anyway,
That would be fun.
We need to play our lobies more often if we're going to do stuff like that.
It's true. Or make all of their stories one-shots. Which is also doable. I can change all of our lobby stories to one-shots very easily. Anyways. He turns around, he says that, but he's come back in. He just says the devils. Okay, I mean, I accept it at face value. I already had accepted it at face value. I'm not going to say anything else for metagaming point. Does anybody else have anything they want to ask him?
Nothing that jumps out at me now.
I sells debts, and I somehow feel like he considered rescuing her a debt, and that makes me nervous.
Why did they sell sturge patties in packages of 8 and sturge patty buns in packages of 10?
Sturge patty, nice.
Why are frozen sturge patties cheaper than non-frozen sturge patties?
Yeah.
No, it was the other way around, remember?
No, the only reason that was the other way around was because one was on sale.
Oh. So yeah, Jaime, I guess we let him leave.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he stepped all the way back in, probably expecting us to be way more inquisitive, but we bought his answer, and we don't seem to be questioning it. The only other thing I had wanted to ask him, which I could save for later if we run into him, is what he plans to do about Meth. The lava guy, or the larva guy. He might just increase the debt he's owed there. I don't know. Is it any of our business? Probably not. Curiosity killed the cat, so I let it go.
The satisfaction brought it back.
I already have 5 side quests. Yeah, and I already have 5 other side quests, so I can be satisfied in other ways.
Okay.
I hope you don't mind. There's a straight up story hook right there. I am not pursuing it unless somebody wants us to. I've technically already made it open to him. Help with it. He could talk to us.
It sounds like no one's really pursuing that, so enjoy your dinner. Now, normally the food here in Avernus, or the food in Avernus is like terrible, awful. It's part of the atmosphere. But because this is a demi-plane, everything here is absolutely delicious. Like, probably some of the best tasting food you had, if not the best tasting food you've had.
I had already forgotten that we were even having food.
Role plays go.
Like, if Druzzl got food while all this was going on, he would have eaten it and then been like, "Where's more?"
Oh man, the appetizers showed up in that last part of the conversation about Lulu. Happened over appetizers as he was getting ready to walk away. We have our main course still has to come, and our dessert.
Jeez.
And our tea.
Coffee.
Well, tea and coffee.
So all of that could be hand-waved both ways. You eat our meal, and that's what Jaime's cooking. The meal arrives. He explains how delicious it is, which he said was amazing, best we've ever tasted, and continues to.
Okay. After your dessert, Mahad comes back in. Or while you're starting to finish your dessert, Mahadi comes back in. And how was your meal? I trust you enjoyed it.
Excellent indeed, sir.
Uneventfully delicious.
Uneventfully delicious.
Wonderful.
No one tried to kill us while eating it. It was good. Uneventfully delicious.
And frankly, that is a surprise in and of itself. We are in Avernus. Eating a meal without someone trying to kill us is a big deal. I would not say we are in nothing traveling. We're currently in the Disney.
I have the backing of very, very powerful people. There's very few who would willingly break the rules of the Emporium while knowing the consequences.
Wait, don't tell me them. I want to break the rules first.
I just sort of look at him, and I'm like, I'm glad he knows that there's a sign outside with all the rules on them, and the contract we signed just to get into the restaurant. Like, you're not the one to derail the plan. Don't do it. I've been staring at Druzzl all night, and my eyes just turned you like, stop.
I mime a sigh. I don't make any noise.
Was there any other business that you needed from me? Or perhaps I could interest you in something else?
I sort of look around the party and I say, other than finishing our moment of respite before continuing, and I sort of chuckle, continuing to disrupt the delicate nature of Avernus. Yeah, that's it. Other than us having our moment before we continue disrupting Avernus, that's all we need. But as we now have a tentative contract and a gentleman's agreement of employment, should you basically give him a speech, as long as it's something within our wheelhouse. We're not cold-blooded murderers, obviously. Like, as long as it's something within our wheelhouse, like, let us know. We are far more than simple entertainers, as I'm sure you are aware.
Oh, I've gathered. I've heard, I've listened. I've watched.
Such is the path of the god of stone.
Maybe a bard will use it someday.
One can only hope. However, I've learned not to be flattered by such things. After all, even in their best depictions, they never get their physical descriptions correct.
Hmm.
And at that point, I use my alter self to turn myself into human. You know, because not getting the physical description right totally great for a roleplay tie back to the first conversation we had.
Right.
Fuck it. Because it's me, I do it and wink and smile. like we're in on this joke together. Because roleplay.
Yes.
Do you guys partake in the spa treatment or ask for any of their other features, the memory or the dream therapy or any of that stuff?
I would partake in the spa.
Just the simple one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to.
I
Nothing beyond that for you, Gillen?
because I don't want to send them into a psychiatric ward, but I will take up like massages and shit.
Just so simple spa treatment.
Yeah, massages are under the simple spa treatment.
Yeah, I don't want to
That's
send
the
them
simple
into my
spa
house.
treatment. Druzzl, I look right at you and I say, well, I think for the rest of us, Lulu probably included, the rest of us have a plan of going through a simple spa treatment. You looking to try anything else out while we're here?
I might join you in that.
I love that you're aware Boston is trying to like prompt you into doing something.
You know what's
And you just don't
hilarious?
give in.
And not giving in to breaking the plan, he is breaking your plan of him giving in.
I know. It's so great.
What's even more fun is I have a plan to break the other plan.
Which other plan?
The one that I'm not supposed to break.
The don't fight plan?
Sure.
Which one are you not supposed to break?
A lot of them, actually.
That's why I'm like, you gotta help him out. That's not a good clue.
Well, it hasn't come to pass yet, so you're not gonna get to know.
Fine. All right. Yeah, so we all do our spa treatment. You join us for spa treatment. There's nothing else you want, though? But if you think Druzzl would enjoy, I could see you doing like, oh my god, he's a dwarf. Do they have mud baths?
That would be classified under skincare, so yes.
Yes.
I'm
see,
actually
like, I just totally
expecting each of us to get a mud bath, like one
yes,
giant mud bath.
exactly. I have
Gillen
a
would be
visual. I have a visual of Gillen doing the elf thing, like, oh, well, I guess if it helps my skin, and going in kind of like, meh, I don't really want to do this, but then enjoying it.
No, remember,
And I see
Gillen's a
Druzzl,
redneck
like,
elf.
so I could kind of see you just like jumping in. I
Yeah.
see Druzzl like climbing in, being like, "Yeah, this is totally what I always wanted it to be." And I could see Fick, Mister, like always perfectly clean, going, "Are you sure we can't use prestidigitation? I don't want to get this on me. I need to be clean after this," because that was his whole shtick from the beginning of the game. Is that he regularly uses things like prestidigitation to stay clean all the time and like properly attired. So I could see him like being iffy about the mud, but that's when I totally see Felix walking past and just like hand on his back, shoving him in, and then
No, he would've
Felix
gotten-
not wanting to get in the mud.
He would have gotten hit with a
Because
mud
Felix
ball.
is a cop.
I would have started a fight with a mud ball.
No, see, that's how it would have happened then. I could see me shoving Fick in and being like, the original flies past him and beams me right in the face. And I'm just like it's a total anime.
I don't like this conversation. We should change it.
Fick, if it helps, I still see you and I at the end of it like no one don't want to.
We're breaking up like an 80s record.
I was just saying I see you and I being really not wanting to be in the mud.
Right.
And the two of them being all up.
I would rather do a bird bath than a mud bath.
Wow. Yeah, we partake and then call it a day. You guys have anything else you wanted to do, or do we go leave this place and get our long rest? Or
I say
sorry.
we go get a long rest.
Okay. Well, we need to talk to Eliak again before we leave the actual Emporium, because I don't want the Emporium to vanish while we're not in here to hire him. Now that we have freed him.
Yeah, agreed.
So do they have like rooms here for sleep? We can talk to Eliak in the morning?
That is actually a very good question. I don't think that there's like an inn or anything here, no.
And this spa place doesn't offer. Out of game, I'm looking for a place to because of what time it is. I'm looking for a place to call the session.
Right.
Unless you have stuff that you wanted to get to. Because this seemed like a natural spot. We could take a long rest and then talk to Eliak at the beginning of next session, or I would have suggested us going straight to Eliak.
I will go ahead and give you a long rest, and we'll just assume that you take one after leaving the Emporium.
Okay.
Sound fair?
Plus, we got a really good spot treatment. Maybe it counted as a cinematic long rest.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We don't really do cinematic long rests. We do a lot of short ones, but I feel like long rests is fun because instead of the way a cinematic short rest could be a few minutes, a cinematic long rest could be a few hours, and not a full 7 hours of sleep.
Which makes sense since you're getting like full massage therapy and
all of that.
Yeah, and all that.
So cool. So honestly, I think we just had the first session with a happy ending. We ended it with everybody getting spa treatments.
Yes.
That worries me for what's going to go wrong next session.
TPKs. For
Hell yeah.
Something brutal is coming now.
Our skin will be immaculate for our funerals.
So the party is
oh man, if I had an
so the party is putting their health and their health and relaxation in the hands of Mahadi, the Raksha, and his wandering Emporium. Everything appears to be going well. We'll see if the other shoe drops next time on Dungeons and Dragons.